FM 107.1.
Hey, it's Sean. Let me tell you about my friends over at Here in Texas. They have great subscription plans available now. If you're like Trey and myself, we've had our hearing aids from Here in Texas for a couple of years now. And in that time, the technology has evolved. There's probably a pair of hearing aids that would work even better for my specific problem, which is in crowded places. And so when you go with a subscription plan with Here in Texas, they first off, it's got locked-in pricing. You don't have to worry about that. You'll always have the latest model available to you. And they provide you with the option that works best for you, customized to your specific problem. So you never have to worry if you're on the cutting edge of technology at Here in Texas, because with a subscription plan, they provide that for you. So go on by and get a consultation, get tested. It's very, very easy. It's very specific, very high-tech stuff. And then talk to them about their subscription plans at Here in Texas. They have offices, New Braunfels, obviously, Luling and Dripping Springs. Call them up, 830-360-2000, or look them up online at hereintexas.com, HEARNTX.com.
Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. Call Connecticut and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
It's Car Care Month, and Summit Racing has what you need for bumper-to-bumper care. Revive the interior, exterior, underhood, and more. Shop SummitRacing.com. Use promo code RADIO for $10 off an order of $100 or more. Exclusions apply. Offer ends May 3rd, 2026.
A bathroom remodel is not just about looks, it's about comfort, safety, and function too. Safe Showers and Bathwise have joined forces with New Bath Today to bring you more, including showers, tubs, flooring, and vanities. Get $1,500 off your new shower at newbathtoday.com.
Guests of Ware and Rima appear via the Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline.
And it is 6:19 on Monday, April 13th. Ware and Rima, KTSA.
I caught the press conference or the statements by the Artemis crew on Saturday afternoon. I mean, we had so much icky news. We had, depressing news out of Iran. We had the Swalwell thing, which just made me want to take a shower over and over again and bleach. I mean, that guy's allegedly a lizard. But watching the Artemis crew talk was really cool. Victor Glover thanked God, of course, when Christina got up there and said, "We're just a lifeboat out in all that black." It kind of reminded me of what Shatner said when he went up there and he said, and he came back, and he said, there's just this thin line of atmosphere, essentially, that keeps us alive. And he said he felt sad because once you get beyond that, you realize it's just nothingness. And she got very emotional. And she said, you see tiny little Earth. And you realize Earth itself is a lifeboat just hanging in the night and all that nothingness. It really was very emotional to get the perspective of folks who have seen what we're on, from a great distance. And you realize that we just live on this little blue ball. Everything we know, everything we understand, everything we are is just on this little blue ball hanging in the night.
How do you deny a creator God?
Well, it's pretty, especially if you want to go at it from the perspective of an artisan or you look at the universe as a working system, as a single system. It's really hard to believe there wasn't some intelligence behind all that.
It's an impossible.
It's an
impossible thought.
It's I think I forget who the author was. I think it was not William Blake, but one guy like that, who said belief by design. There's different ways that people believe in God or come to the conclusion there is a God. And belief by design is you look at all that and you realize how complex it is and how fragile that balance is. And you realize that everything pretty much in the universe has to be doing what it's doing for you and I to be sitting here having this conversation. And it really is humbling. And, yeah, does it reinforce my belief in God? Absolutely it does. It's a masterwork. I mean, whoever put all this together. And you figure we don't even really know what it is.
Yeah, I heard an analogy one time about going to a junkyard. You've seen junkyards, right?
Yeah.
Parts scattered everywhere.
Sure.
Junk, transmission over there, rear end over there, hubs over there, hood over there, a piston over there, and all that kind of stuff. And then just out of nowhere, a 57 Chevrolet appears.
Right. Yeah, just somebody has to put it together. Somebody has to give it life.
Somebody. Those particles and everything don't just suddenly come together.
Right.
And particularly if one little tiny thing is off in this universe, And that's the reason to believe, in my view, just me talking here, is that God is still actively involved because his word, the Bible says, holds it all together. If he just created and walked away from it, this thing wouldn't hold together.
Well, again, you're right in that one little thing is off and it affects all of it. It really is just one big thing. It's one big system, whatever it is. And we don't even know how far it goes on. I mean, our time in that is the blink of a blink. I mean, we've barely been around as a species in regards to the age of all of that, which, yes, I do believe God created. And I think you see that handiwork in missions like the Artemis II, where basically we're just learning how to ride a bike. I wrote a poem about it over the weekend on Friday afterwards. It took all of our technology, where we are right now, the best of our scientists, the best of our understanding, the best of our technology and engineering, to do what we just did. And for all we know, there's a species that God created that's on the other side of the universe that, has been doing that for eons or has, been at it for a lot longer than we have. Again, that doesn't diminish my belief in God in any way, shape, or form. It enhances it. It's really a humbling thing we've just witnessed. Even though we've already done it, we did it 50. Am I going on too long?
No, you're doing
Even though we, 50 years ago, we actually landed on the moon and with much more primitive technology. But when you really get out there and you realize, in a sense, how alone we are as well, that also reinforces my relationship with God. Because if you really didn't believe in God, and I know people who don't, I got my best friend's an atheist, then you're just seeing a little blue marble in nothingness. And if that would be a very depressing perspective, I think, to believe that we're just out here alone, we're a happenstance. We're a symptom of a system or a result of something.
It takes greater faith to be an atheist than it does to be a believer in God.
Well,
when you look at since we're talking creation, and I want to play Victor Glover here. But when you just look at creation, it takes more faith to be an atheist and say there is no God. When you looked at what they saw from their perspective and what they sent back to us, here he is talking about it.
I wanted to thank God in public, and I want to thank God again, because even bigger than my challenge trying to describe what we went through, the gratitude of seeing what we saw, doing what we did, and being with who I was with, it's too big to just be in one body.
His thing about, and you can hear the emotion in his voice because he said what we saw, and they have a perspective that you and I simply do not have. What they saw was the handiwork of God. Now, we see it every day, and the familiar becomes contemptuous because it is the familiar. Looking at your hand, that's a miraculous work of God, just looking at the back of your hand. But because you see it every day, it becomes something that is just normal.
We've become inured to our own reality that, we take for granted how complex it really is.
The human eye.
Right.
All of these things. That's the handiwork of an intelligent creator God who, by the way, loves you, or else you wouldn't be here. It's real simple. But I just want to point out one other thing about Victor, because he's a hero for sure. Here's his family, and oh my God, I put him up on my X account. What a lovely, lovely group. Now it's all women. Okay, so he tosses a lot of girls. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Got girls out there, and they're all beautiful, including the one who did the dance last week. But what a just gorgeous, beautiful family.
Well, and you're really happy for them. They really are the Beatles of astronauts right now. I mean, those four, they really are. And watching them, they really couldn't go 30 seconds without getting up and hugging on each other, because those four people have had an experience that no other four human beings have had.
They said that.
And to a person, when they spoke, and this is really the first time we'd heard them really kind of talk about the experience. Because I was like everybody else. I was watching Splashdown and all that Friday. It was thrilling stuff. Mm-hmm. They all have this humility about them. Like, if you could see what I just saw, maybe you'd be less of a jerk. You know what I mean?
I also like what they said. Because
I'm adding that.
They went the farthest. We've talked about that, but just to reiterate that. And then they said, we want to make sure that record is short-lived.
Oh, yeah.
They want that record of how far they went to be broken now.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And so they're not in this for themselves, obviously. You know, this was not an ego trip for them. Had nothing to do with their ego. You could tell that when they were talking this weekend.
Whatever shreds of an ego they had going into it were quickly erased by what they saw, obviously.
Right.
And they're already rolling out the platform for Artemis 2 or 3. And this is where they test the loading or the docking mechanisms with whatever lunar lander they're going to take.
Yeah, next year they're going to go and orbit the Earth with all the stuff.
Right.
And then in 28 is when they plan on going on, and they're talking with Elon and Bezos, and the rest of them are pitching, saying, hey, we got the machines to get you there, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's thrilling stuff. So amidst all this unhappiness and war and awfulness, it was kind of a nice thing to behold.
Absolutely was. Well, let me tell you about my friends over at River City Oral Surgery. Dr. Mark Havercoin and his team are ready to get you the oral surgery care that you are looking for. And you see a lot of people advertising now. I see it online every day. People are talking about, let's get some implants done. Let's do this. Let's do that. Do you want a full bridge? Do you want a full jaw? What do you want? Do you want all on 4? Do you want all on 5? All these terms that are being tossed around out there concerning oral surgery. Well, let me tell you about our friends over at River City Oral Surgery. They do everything by the book and the way it ought to be done, with their prices published right online. So you know exactly what you're going to pay before you ever even walk in the door at River City Oral Surgery. Here's an example for you. It's been up on the website now for quite some time. And that's another thing. Their prices simply do not change and go up. You know what I mean? This has been the price to have this done now for a couple of years. 4 wisdom teeth removed, and that includes everything. That's the exam, the x-ray, the IV sedation, and routine post-op care, $1,500, and that's it. There's no games, no gimmicks, no upsell, no, hey, now you got to have this. No, that's not the way they do it over there. Dr. Havercorn's a great guy. You're really going to love working with him, and you're going to love the procedures that they do for you at River City Oral Surgery. So just log on to the website. It's really a piece of cake for you, rivercityoms.com.
Hey, it's Sean. I love talking about my friends at John Wayne Service Company. This is a great year to talk to them. Whether you're having an issue with your HVAC, your plumbing, or your electrical, it's one company for the whole house. And now John Wayne is offering their service call for all for only $29. That's a $29 service call that'll cover one system, 2 systems, or all 3. It's your choice. It's a simple, low-cost way to get a professional look and clear direction before you spend more money. They aim to give you straight answers and clear options with no pressure, and they offer 100% satisfaction guarantee. But again, it's that time of year for John Wayne's Service Call for All for only $29. Service call can cover one system, 2 systems, or all 3. It's your choice. Call or text my friends at John Wayne Service Company today, 210-293-6700 to schedule your $29 service call for all. Or check them out online, johnwayne.com.
During Kubota Orange Days, you'll love the great deals on our versatile, reliable lineup. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Let us help you turn dream projects into reality. Visit your Ewald Kubota location today for the best deals of the year. Now through June 30th, get select Kubota compact tractors with 0% financing available or save up to $5,500. So stop by any Ewald Kubota location or visit ewaldkubota.com.
Now through June 30th, see us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Hey folks, this is Carl Eggers. You've heard me for over a decade on the Trey Ware Show. When was the last time you had a real financial checkup? Not a quick chat, not a sales pitch, an honest, personal review of where you stand and where you're headed. When you schedule a free financial checkup with us, you sit down with me personally, not a salesperson, not a high-volume call center. I personally walk you through your current cash flow, your investments, and yes, even your tax return, because your financial life isn't a one-size-fits-all. We actively manage your assets using unique, tailored investments, not cookie-cutter models or proprietary products. And we build comprehensive financial plans designed for you, your goals, your family, and your future. Give us a call at 210-526-0057. That's 210-526-0057, or visit creatingricherlives.com.
Investment management services offered by Cap Trust, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Our current disclosures are available on creatingricherlives.com.
Health insurance decisions can change quickly, and making the wrong choice can cost you. I'm Justin Holland, host of the Mad Insurance Show right here on KTSA. We're a broker at Texas State Insurance Services. Whether you're turning 65 and exploring Medicare, need individual or family coverage, or a business owner reviewing employee benefits, we can help you compare your options and make confident decisions. Visit us at txstateinsurance.com or call us at 210-880-5316 to schedule your coverage review today.
At Ponderosa Ranch, your pup is our priority. Boarding, training, daycare, and bathing, we treat your dog like family. With 3 area locations, Ponderosa Ranch can't wait to be your pup's home away from home. Book their next day or stay with us at weloveyourdog.net.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
A blockade on all Iranian ports about to kick in this morning. That's because peace talks between the U.S. and Iran broke down over the weekend. We've got the latest at KTSA.com. Will Bible verses become part of the social studies curriculum in Texas? We'll get an update coming up. And one of the greatest video games of all time still killing it at the box office. Details on that coming up at 7 o'clock. KTSA News Time 6:33.
Good morning. Your commute definitely starting to fill in. This report sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. We do have a stall at I-10 upper level westbound. It's just before you get to 35. Looks like they just moved it off to the right shoulder, so just a heads up. 410 southbound, South WW White, another disabled vehicle, right shoulder. Working a crash at 281 southbound right around Mulberry. It's taking up the right lane, and it looks like we did clear that reg 281 northbound. Josephine. For victims of drunken drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MADD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline, 877-MADD-HELP or MADD.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
A warm start to the week with mostly cloudy skies. It'll be humid and breezy with a thunderstorm this afternoon, the high of 84. Breezy and humid this evening. Warm tonight, the low 70 along the Riverwalk and 67 in the Hill Country. Breezy, warm, and humid with clouds and sun Tuesday, the high 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Right now, 72 degrees under cloudy skies at San Antonio's Severe Weather Station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Yeah, it's 6:34 now. We are Ware and Rima at KTSA. All right, so it's Monday, April 13th. It's wet, sun and clouds today, a chance of rain or storms a little bit later on. Eric Swalwell is one of the sleaziest human beings that has ever existed. And what you're hearing about him right now, I'll just say this up front. Number one thing I want to say is John Nolte is he's absolutely 1,000,000% correct as to why this is going on. And I'm going to explain that in a second. Number two is this is not news to people. I've been calling him a predator for a long time. This whole bang bang fang thing was not a figment of anybody's imagination. He was sleeping allegedly with a Chinese spy, and they knew it. They knew he was. Pelosi knew he. I call her that because
Pelosi, like polluted.
Yes, she knew it. Because she was in a meeting, you're going to hear this, with Kevin McCarthy, and the meeting explained it all from the FBI, and yet she kept him on the Intel committee. And then, of course, what has been described as rape. Let me tell you what Nolte said over the weekend, and he's absolutely correct, and then I'm going to get into playing all the sound from this. In California, he is among 3 that are Porter, Steyer, and him on the Democrat side running for governor. On the Republican side, you have 2. Now, the way it works in California is the top 2 advance to run against each other in the polling, okay? Right. And they're in the primary right now. So the top 2 in the primary. In Texas, and just about everywhere else, you choose the top Democrat and the top Republican, and they go at it. It's not the way it is in California. They choose the top 2 in the polling coming out of the primary, and those top 2 go at each other. It can be two Democrats, as it has been in the past. It can be two Republicans. That's what they have been facing in California, because they have three people that are mired in basically the same polling number, right? They're stealing from each other. It wasn't going to be a Democrat that was going to go to compete. You had the two Republicans that were going to go, Steve Hilton being the leader, but you had two Republicans that were going to go against each other. So they were going to end up with a Republican governor in the state of California. And the Democrat Party and the media can't have that. If you want to see that in perfect writing, just look up John Nolte at Breitbart.com because he laid it out.
It's a great piece. He said he really, everybody's known about this, about him for a long time.
Forever.
You've got lawmakers who have said, don't give your cell phone number to this guy. He'll start hitting you up, allegedly, in the piece, the San Francisco Chronicle piece, and also Nolte's piece. And he's like, the media didn't give a crap about him, and they all knew about him, allegedly, and they didn't care until the gubernatorial race, and they see him as a millstone now. So they got to
get rid of him.
They got to get rid of that guy. So now all of a sudden they're concerned about this.
They were willing to allow this guy, and the sound I'm going to play in a second is rape. It's rape. This is not just, he touched her inappropriately or he made some inappropriate comment, although he did allegedly do that to the staffer, where he pulled his private parts out driving down the road, sent her pictures of his private parts, demanded pictures of her private parts, somebody who worked for him, not to mention the illegal alien we're going to get into in a second.
Yeah.
But here's a video that he put up.
I thought it was important that you see and hear from me directly. These allegations of sexual assault are flat false. They are absolutely false. They did not happen. They have never happened. And I will fight them with everything that I have. They also come on the eve of an election where I have been the frontrunner candidate for governor in California.
So, two things can be true, and I happen to believe they both are. That, yes, as Nolte said, the Democrats have to get rid of him, but also I also believe in my heart that where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's plenty of this around this guy. He should be removed from Congress and probably face some very serious charges concerning rape and other stuff, in my view.
Right. Well, he dropped out last night.
He dropped out.
And he said, and the statement's kind of interesting because he apologizes to his family, but then goes on to say he's going to fight these charges. So what are you apologizing for, man? It's a very bizarre statement.
Yes, and he's already under investigation in Massachusetts. Manhattan right now. He's under investigation in Manhattan. A DA up there is investigating him right now. Look, where's the arrest? And it's going to be interesting to find out, because listen to this staffer and what she describes.
Decided to ask him to meet me for a drink. And I did this because I was so far removed from what had happened in 2019. I felt safe because I was established. I had a partner. I felt more secure that I could have a strictly professional relationship with this person. After that bar closed, we went to another. I went to the bathroom, and I don't remember anything after that.
You don't remember anything?
I remember the next day. I can see flashes of that evening, of him on top of me pushing him off, him grabbing me. It was a lot more aggressive. It was aggressive.
Did you say no?
Yes, I said no. In my flash that I can...
Let me just do that again, because I don't want that to get by people as they're driving down the road. Did you say no?
I said no. In my...
Let me back it up a little bit further.
Him grabbing me, it was a lot more aggressive. It was aggressive.
Did you say no?
Yes, I said no. In my flash that I can recall, I was pushing him off of me saying no.
Pushing him off of me saying no.
What did he do?
He didn't stop.
He didn't stop. And you woke up the next morning.
I woke up the next morning naked, alone in his hotel room. I, for a moment, didn't even know I was in his hotel room. That's how intoxicated I was. And I called my mom, the only person I could think that could help me.
And we were able to corroborate that by speaking with friends and family she confided in, reviewing photos and screenshots of contemporaneous text messages. And we also reviewed a message from her medical provider the week after she received the pregnancy and STD tests, calling her a, quote, survivor.
Calling her a survivor. So we have the medical records. We have her. We have 4 that came out on Friday saying the similar stories. We have a husband named Adam Hominko, who lives up the street, threatening to sue Swalwell because his wife, Allie, had been receiving terrible threatening messages from Swalwell saying, hey, come down here. I want to see you, and I want photos from you, and I want to send photos to you and all this stuff in his own neighborhood.
Right. Boy, that was smart. Well, look, if these allegations are true, he's obviously a piece of fungus. He's a hobbyist, as we say. I think politics, influence, power, prominence, it's like any other drug. It kind of magnifies who you are. And this is allegedly, this is who the guy is, and it's something that everybody knew about him. But again, the media didn't care about this guy. I mean, Nolte's point is valid. And plus, all these people are saying they were intoxicated, which means it didn't matter whether they said yes or no. If they were intoxicated, it's already rape.
Well, okay, so
and
here's the deal. I don't want to hear anything
from
from any Democrat or anybody in the media. I don't hear anything about, well, she went and got drunk with him. It's her fault. Sorry. No, it's not. It's not her fault.
Doesn't work that way.
So, and if she got that drunk, I want to know if there was something else in that drink. But beyond that, he's not just a hobbyist. He's a rapist. If this is true, and there's 4 people, and now 55 of his former staffers have written a letter to the Wall Street Journal saying the same thing. That it was well known. People inside of Washington, D.C. knew that it was well known. Here's Jonathan Karl on ABC yesterday. Of course, ABC, the worst on the planet, Disney, trying to just skate by this thing. But here's Kevin McCarthy, the former Speaker of the House yesterday, addressing the issue along with Donna Brazile.
We don't have much time left, but I want the allegations against Eric Swalwell, which have not been independently confirmed by ABC, he's denied them all. But serious sexual misconduct allegations, and now you have an army of Democrats abandoning his campaign for governor. He was the leading candidate, Democratic candidate for governor, and now he's facing calls to drop out from people like Nancy Pelosi.
Listen, let me be very clear. I tried to get rid of Swalwell 8 years ago. When I got the briefing, when I became leader with the FBI, Nancy Pelosi was in the room. I turned to her and said, how can you keep her on Intel? Intel is a select committee that only the leaders put on, that you know all the secrets that the members do not.
But
I made a motion.
Was this about sexual misconduct allegations, or?
It was a combination with the Chinese spy and led to all that. Every member in Congress knows not to let any young staffer get around Swalwell or Matt Gaetz. It's not a secret there. There's a reason why you didn't want those 2 people around. He was the leading candidate for governor. He probably could have won the primary and gotten there, but this all came forward. And these young women deserve justice.
I agree.
Donna, should he drop out?
His campaign is in a free fall right now with top staffers leaving. And let me just say this. As someone who knows at least one of the victims that have come forward, I'm very concerned.
Okay, again, he pulled out of the race last night. Now, he also allegedly, and all of this is alleged, but he also allegedly was using campaign funds to pay a nanny by the name of Amanda Barbosa from Brazil. She doesn't look like much of a nanny to me. She looks like something else to me.
I haven't seen pictures of her,
oh my
but
God.
she's
partying at resorts with him,
right?
Wearing bikinis at resorts with him. I mean, she
well, there's also allegations that he used a lot of that campaign money for his own personal, happy time.
This is part of it.
right.
In that, there are other supposed babysitting services that he was paying $200,000 for babysitting. So who are they babysitting? Him? And then, of course, we've all seen the video that came out on Saturday of him grabbing that girl, whether she was a sex worker or not, but he grabbed her by the mouth and was shoving his mouth on her.
I wish I could unsee it. It's so icky.
So anyway, this guy is exactly who, I figured he was from the very beginning. Of course, he's innocent until proven guilty, but how he remains a congressman in the United States Congress beyond today, it's shocking to me.
But what's shocking is that everybody it's like Clinton. Everybody has known about this for a long, long time.
Of course.
Just like, the Epstein thing. I mean, everybody knows what's been going on, allegedly. And they did nothing. They did nothing until he became a liability. Now think about that for a second.
First two people I thought of were Ro Khanna and Tom Massey. Because those two passed the bill, and those two have been going after Donald Trump about Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
They have been completely silent about this since it came out.
And
they knew, because everybody inside the Beltway knew what Eric Swalwell was doing for years. Not weeks, not months, years. They knew what was going on.
Well, think about Tony Gonzalez.
I was thinking about him, absolutely.
They all
kind
know
of the
what
same
they're doing up there.
Yeah, I mean, people know who's doing what, man. And so a whole lot of people, look, it's like Harvey Weinstein in Hollywood. Okay, everybody knows stuff is going on, but they're protecting them for whatever reason.
I don't have a slush fund for any type of accusations put against me, but it seems like Congress and Senate has that slush fund.
That's your money.
I do have a slush fund. Oh,
yes. To pay for theirs. That's right. All right, let me tell you about my friends over at HERE, HEAR, here in Texas, the best in New Braunfels and beyond New Braunfels, as a matter of fact. If you or somebody that you know has a hard time hearing, no matter what it is, if you have noticed you're turning the TV up and it's really, really loud, or if you have noticed that you keep saying, because you can't hear what your loved one's saying, please say that again or whatever, or maybe they've turned away from you and they're looking the other direction, they say something, you have no idea what they said, or sometimes you didn't even know they speak, you had no idea they said something to you. Honey, didn't you hear me? No, I didn't hear you. Here in Texas is here for you. HEAR, HereInTX.com. They will do a complete hearing evaluation of you to find out what's going on with your hearing. When I did it with Sean, it was a deal of noisy locations. He had a hard time hearing and a bunch of noise. For me, it was just something. It was a birth defect that I had from the get-go, from the very beginning, and I learned how to live with it, learned how to deal with it, learned how to put up with the bullying and stuff when I was a kid. But I don't have to put up with anything anymore, and neither does Sean. With Here in Texas Hearing Aids, and especially with the subscription service now that you get an updated model every time they come out with new technology, man, they are the leaders in this. They accept TRICARE and other insurance as well. So there's no reason in the world why you shouldn't have yourself or a loved one go see our friends at Here in Texas. They're ready to take care of you, and they will take care of you better than anybody else. HEAR, HereInTX.com. AccuWeather forecast, sunny clouds, a chance of rain or storms later. High of 94 today, 72 now, KTSA.
Good morning. We are working a few trouble spots as you head into your early morning commute. This report sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Still have that wreck at 281 southbound right around Mulberry. It's in the right lane, so a little bit of stop and go starting right around Hildebrand. On I-10 upper level, westbound before 35, that stalls off to the right shoulder, and another stall on the shoulder 410 southbound at South WWY. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Travel.
Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. Call Connecticut and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Oral health is such an important part of your overall health, and that's why I love talking about Dr. Williamson. He is a dentist, but not an ordinary dentist by any means. He is a broadly trained gentleman. He is fully trained and able to handle just about any dental problem you could ever have. And what is really different is the way he conducts things in his office. You're not just a number. He's somebody that wants to get to know you. He's going to concentrate on helping you. Dr. Williamson is an outstanding dentist following the tradition of Dr. Staffel that he worked with for a number of years. It's very conveniently located off Cherry Ridge Drive, outside Loop 410, just east of I-10. But Dr. Williamson, his staff, it's the most welcoming atmosphere you will ever encounter and one of the most capable dentists you will ever know. If you're looking for a dentist, if you're new to town and want to start with the best one I think you'll find, well, you just need to call 341-2569. 210-341-2569 for Dr. Williamson and Associates.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Drury Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Drury Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call me, Lance Drury, in San Antonio at 726-202-1300 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
It's time to improve your home, slow it down, and do it right. Choose a company worthy of your trust and worthy of your family. For windows, siding, and doors, call or visit southwestexteriors.com. Southwest Exteriors, the look you love coming home to.
Buyer Air Conditioning Heating is offering a win-win of a deal. When you install a new AC system with the Buyers, we'll throw in a furnace for free. That's right, a new furnace with the installation of a new AC system. Call the Buyer Boys today.
License TACLA 13624E.
If your floors look worn, dated, or just not your style anymore, you can change that with one visit. I'm Richard Cavazos with Pride Floors and Construction. We are a family-operated business located right outside 1604 in Lock Hill, Soma. Most homeowners tell me they want cleaner, richer, natural-looking floors and beauty that lasts for generations. Popular styles like European oak hardwood floors and luxury vinyl planks continue to be top picks. So when you walk through our showroom, you can explore carpet, hardwood, tile, and luxury vinyl plank in every style. You will see textures, colors, and finishes that help you picture the space you want. We make it easy to visualize your space with beautiful new floors. My team gives you clear guidance, honest answers, and professional installation combined with quality products. You will get a project you can trust and floors that make your home feel new again. Our lifetime installation warranty is part of that promise. Visit our family showroom at 1604 Lock Hill, Soma. At Pride Floors, we take pride in our floors so you can take pride in your home. I'm Richard Cavazos, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Every now and then you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises, all on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices, exclusively at Walmart and straighttalk.com.
Today's Pledge of Allegiance, powered by Stevens Roofing.
Hey, this is Eric Cooper with the San Antonio Food Bank. It is my privilege to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
654, Ware and Rima on KTSA.
You know, let's compare and contrast a couple of stories here. A story I saw this weekend from the New York Post. And in full, first off, we were talking about the Artemis splashdown on Friday, or the Orion splashing down. I mean, you're seeing the best and the brightest of humanity pull something like that off. And then we go to TikTok. Now, in full disclosure, okay, I am on TikTok.
Well, a lot of people are.
I'm on TikTok. I post stuff on TikTok, but I don't understand TikTok. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. Like, Facebook, I get. I don't understand the world of TikTok, even though I myself am on it. But there's a new trend on TikTok. I can tell by your initial reaction you've already seen this.
Oh, yeah.
Where TikTokers are eating little clay pots. They're eating clay pots. They're eating clay. There was a woman who started this trend, and she was pregnant at the time, and I didn't know this thing even existed, where pregnant women, because they have an iron deficiency, the body is a weird thing. They'll crave dirt, right? They'll crave freaking dirt, apparently.
Can.
And eating clay. And so a woman who is pregnant found that if she ate little bits of clay, I guess she felt better. And so all the TikTokers now, they order these little clay pots on Amazon, and they eat them with, like, Japanese dipping sauce. And they're sitting there eating clay, pieces of clay. And health professionals have had to come out and say, that's really not a good idea. You should probably stop that. It's not really upping your iron. It's not making you any healthier. You're cutting the crap out of your mouth by eating shards of clay. And it's probably not a good. So on the one hand, we have human beings who will get into a tin can on top of a bomb and blast their way around the moon and make it back.
Yeah.
For which, the human race, the human species gets all kinds of new understanding about what we're living in. But then, we're only a few, eons away from the cave dwelling and the discovering of fire. We also still have human beings in the year 2026 at the apex of our development who will eat clay. Trey, eat clay pots.
Yeah.
They'll order clay pots from Amazon and eat them with various dipping sauces.
This has nothing to do with low iron because you can take iron supplementation in your pregnancy. It's the latest internet stupidity brought to you by China. They do this. This wasn't some woman. I know that's the story. This wasn't some woman who started this. All these things start in China.
You think the Chinese communists want people to eat clay pots? Is that what it is?
Sean, if you
Let's make them eat clay pots.
If you
They know
research,
that Americans are that stupid.
that's exactly what it is.
They're not showing it to their people.
Well, no, of course not.
No. And like the Tide Pod Challenge and all that, this stuff really originates in China. It's put on TikTok primarily to go after the youth of our country. It's called dumbing down. And 10 minutes is a long time for Western minds. Eastern minds, they're thinking generations, if not hundreds or thousands of years. So they're planning this stuff now in the minds of our children to dumb them down, and they're doing an excellent job.
Well, I think we're moving that along all by ourselves too. I mean, it's a short attention span, and mixed with the idea that I'm going to be famous in just a few minutes. And if I have to eat a freaking clay pot to do it, I'm going to pull it off. I get what you're saying about China and TikTok.
That's where it starts.
Well, yeah.
If you do the research and you follow these back, all these things originate.
So do you think this woman was like a Chinese plant, like to get kids?
Well, I don't know
to
where
eat
she got
clay
the idea.
pots?
I don't know. I don't know who originated the idea with her. But most of these things, most of these stupid things that happen on TikTok start in China. You bet. You're absolutely. It's a well-known thing when you start to look at where this stuff starts and they're getting into the brain of
that. We've talked about that for a long time.
Absolutely.
I just don't know if the CCP had a clay pot eating meeting to how do we get the young Americans eating clay pots? I think we did that all on our own. Is what I'm trying to say.
You would be shocked at the kinds of things that they plant in their heads.
Wow.
It's amazing stuff that goes on.
The clay pot plot is working swimmingly.
It's dumbing down America.
They really pulled that one off. Yeah, good going, CCP.
More Ware and Rima coming up, KTSA.
Eddie, why are you lounging in the backyard wearing sandals and sipping iced tea like you just checked into a fancy resort?
Naomi, it feels great out here.
You work so hard, Eddie. I'm glad to see you finally taking a minute for yourself.
Naomi, with our custom patio covers from Precision Windows and Doors, our backyard does indeed feel like a resort. Shade overhead, a comfortable breeze, no blazing sun. The window guy just needed a short break with his Patio Princess, huh?
Patio Princess? I like the sound of that.
Folks, with the patio cover from Precision Windows and Doors, your backyard starts feeling like a true extension of your home. A place to relax, unwind, and actually enjoy. Morning coffee outside, dinner with the sunset, and long weekend naps.
Elegant, durable patio covers built for comfort, built for style, and built for Texas weather. So if you're ready to create an outdoor space that feels comfortable, inviting, and truly custom, call Precision Windows and Doors at 210-596-6588.
Or PrecisionWindowsSA.com.
Let's brighten up your home together.
Every leader feels the pressure to do AI, but rushing in leads to leaks and wasted budget. Bridgehead IT starts with a full AI assessment to secure your data and find where AI actually moves the needle. Stop guessing. Lead with confidence at bridgeheadit.com.
Get familiar with an easy way to Europe via nonstop flights to Toronto. Connect to Spain, Germany, and more with Air Canada and SAT. See fares and book today at aircanada.com.
This is San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 7 o'clock, KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. U.S. Central Command set for a blockade on all ships going in or out of Iranian ports starting later this morning. The statement came hours after President Trump posted on Truth Social the U.S. military would be cleaning the Strait of Hormuz. Now, that decision follows 21 hours of unsuccessful peace negotiations in Pakistan Saturday involving Vice President Vance. In his Sunday post, the president said the U.S. Navy will begin the process of blockading any and all ships trying to enter or leave the Strait of Hormuz. It's set to take effect 2 hours from now. TEA has given its initial approval for updates to the public school curriculum, including teachings from the Bible.
The update still has to go through a second and final reading in June. The State Board of Education has discussed changes to social studies and required readings in Texas public schools, which were both passed. If the reading list and social studies curriculum are passed again in the second reading in June, they would go into effect for the 2030 school year. The Texas Classroom Teachers Association now says dramatically changing the focus in curriculum may exacerbate the issue of students struggling with the current curriculum. There's no word on what part of those changes would qualify as dramatic. Stacey Keene, KTSA News.
Just days after the Artemis II moon mission splash landed off the coast of San Diego, NASA is about ready to announce the crew for its next mission.
Artemis II went around the moon. Artemis III will stay closer to Earth to test abilities to rendezvous and dock with other spacecraft. Over the weekend, NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman said an announcement of the Artemis III crew will be made soon, since it's tentatively set to launch next summer. Artemis 4 and 5 will put humans back on the lunar surface, with those missions set to fly in 2028.
That's correspondent Rory O'Neill. The greatest video game plumbers of all time are still raking in the dough at the box office.
I demand that you release my father.
Over my dead body.
The Super Mario Galaxy movie is still enjoying otherworldly success. The sequel picked up $69 million in the U.S. and Canada over the weekend.
I put the knot in astronaut.
Ryan Gosling's Project Hail Mary snagged another $24 million to hang on to the second spot. The drama, third with $8.7 million, rounding out the top five.
Oh! Buongiorno.
Halle Bailey and Regé-Jean Page in You, Me, and Tuscany, and Hoppers.
That's correspondent Deborah Rodriguez. KTSA News Time 7:03. Let's check out KTSA Sports right here with Vic Brown.
At the Masters, Rory McIlroy does it again, becoming the fourth ever to go back-to-back at Augusta and the first since Tiger Woods back in 2001-2002. Scottie Scheffler finished one off the pace and finished in second. The San Antonio Spurs fell to the Nuggets 128-118 and faced the winner of the 7-versus-8 matchup between Portland and Phoenix. The Texas Rangers beat the LA Dodgers 5-2 in their series finale to avoid the sweep. They open a series tonight on the road against the A's. You can catch that game on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 8 with the pregame. I'm Vic Brown with 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTSA Time Saver Traffic and a look at KTSA AccuWeather up next on 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you want the best, when you want a metal roof that doesn't cost that much more, that is truly lifetime quality, that's backed up by a company with years and years and years of experience, and that's what Southwest Metal Roofing Systems is all about. But it's not just the metal, it's the workmanship. They do it right the first time, every time. They can give you the best warranty in the industry because they never have to come out and do anything. It's getting close to 20 years since they put the roof on my home up in Bernie, and I've not called them with a single problem. You have a lot of choices. If you don't like brilliant standing seam metal, you can have your choice of about 20 different colors. I chose red, and the story behind that I won't go into. But you can also have roofs that don't even look like metal, look like ceramic tile or slate or shake shingles. Southwest Metal Roofing Systems does it all at amazingly reasonable prices. Learn more? Give them a call. 210-822-6868. That's 210-822-6868 for Southwest Metal Roofing Systems.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Want a great way to boost your your brand? Custom labels at Staples will help packages pop, shipments stand out, and takeout boxes really take off. Shop now through April 18th and save 30% on all custom labels. Staples, that was easy.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
KTSA News Time is 7:06. Let's get a quick check of KTSA time saver traffic.
Good morning. Heads up on 281. Getting reports of a rollover accident southbound 281 at Hildebrand. It's in the right lane as you stop and go from Bassey, so tack on at least an extra 15 minutes to your commute. Did clear the wreck at 281 southbound near Mulberry. Road work continues on 35 upper level southbound between I-10 to just before North Florida Street. We've got 2 left lanes closed. And on I-10 eastbound 37, that's all off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Might want to take an umbrella just in case today. It'll be mostly cloudy and humid. Breezy this afternoon with a thunderstorm, the high 84. Breezy and humid this evening, cloudy and warm tonight. The low just 70 along the Riverwalk and 67 in the Hill Country. Breezy, warm and humid again Tuesday with the high of 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Cloudy skies, 72 degrees right now, San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
News Talk 550 KTSA.
And I got some bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces.
That's what I want to do. Kamala Harris is going to run for president again, and they had a discussion on Meet the Depressed yesterday about it, in which one of the guys was asked by Kristen Welker, hey, you think Kamala's going to run? Oh, she's going to be a formidable candidate. She's going to be an incredible candidate this time. She's ready. Kamala is ready. So I thought I'd put that to the test because Reverend Al Sharpton, he had his thing over this weekend, you know. That National Action Network thing.
Oh, God, yeah.
And so Kamala was there, and she was talking about Donald Trump breaking up all of Europe and handing Europe out. Now, you do a really good mafia voice. Let's see how Kamala's mafia voice is.
And then he kind of acts like a mob boss. So then he's kind of like, well, you know, you take Eastern Europe. And I'll take the Western Hemisphere.
Oh, God.
And then you over there, you get Asia. And we'll just divide it up. Right?
Her IQ is about 75, by the way.
So yeah, right. I think you're being generous. You know, first off, yeah, I saw that over there. That was the worst mafiosi attempt at a dialect I've ever heard. She sounded more like she was having a hard time going to the bathroom.
Yeah,
honestly.
She was constipated.
She really sounded like she was having digestive issues.
Constipated.
And no, Trump is not carving up Europe to. In fact, I saw the video for I'm sure you saw it. It was kind of circulating on social media. This British journalist. I just saw it once, so I've already forgotten who the guy's name was, who kind of laid out what Trump is actually doing in regards to the Hormuz Strait, energy, China. You know, basically saying America's going to be a fortified nation that's going to pull back and be able to produce its own energy. It's not going to be beholden to anyone, and the UK and a lot of us are going to be screwed, who are not, participating in this or working with him, and yet they're going to put their hopes on this person who somehow interprets that as we're divvying up Europe.
Please.
By all means.
Please. All right, so we had this young TPUSA reporter,
right?
Okay, and she's out there just doing her job, not even, saying anything horrible about anybody or her name's Savannah Hernandez. I really can't play the attack on her. Number one, the attack is just a bunch of screaming and yelling and the F word over and over again. As the sweet Democrats always do, they throw the F word around like it just doesn't matter to anybody. And they are blowing whistles in her ear. They're blowing these long plastic trumpets in her ear and all of those kinds of things. But it comes down to this radical family that took in after her, Chris Ostrishko, who calls himself the Minnesota Angry Man. His daughter Desiree is now disavowing the family. His other daughter and his wife were a part of the attack. Right. This was an assault. The police should have been called. The police can still be called. Savannah Hernandez should file charges against them, assault charges, because they assaulted her. This was an anti-ICE riot that was going on. She was just simply there with her cameraman to chronicle what was going on. Now, here is, just a few months ago, Mr. Chris, the angry Minnesota Angry Man, talking about ICE.
There was one girl that got knocked down. She was bawling. She hit her head on the concrete, and they grabbed her by the leg and dragged her all the way across the damn road onto the federal land and detained her over there. And she was injured, she was hurt, she was crying. There was no reason to even detain her because she didn't even do anything wrong.
So that's what he was saying about ICE.
Sure.
But he does the same thing to a TPUSA journalist.
Well, and she was just there getting B-roll. She said she wasn't even there to interact with anybody. She's just getting footage. There's been an ongoing anti-ICE. It's a facility in Minneapolis, the Whipple building. It's a federal building, and they're there constantly. In fact, the guy who had led the storm into the church was there. He might be in violation of some of the requirements on him from going into that church. I think his name is Kelly or something of that nature. But Savannah Hernandez, yeah. So a young Hispanic woman was assaulted by these people. I mean, it's a pretty hard video to watch. I mean, he knocks her to the ground. At one point, there's somebody pummeling, smacking her in the face.
So let me ask a question. Where's the protest about this?
Oh, no.
Because, when they were supposedly attacked by ICE,
right.
We had, all these rioters show up with signs. They were paid, brought in, and bussed in, and they held signs, get the ICE out of Minnesota and all of that kind of crap. Well, they attack a TPUSA girl, and there's not a word that's said. There's not a riot. There's not one sign. No, nothing. How come? What gives, y'all?
Well, again, they're fighting for the rights largely of brown people, but they don't mind smacking one around if they're a Charlie Kirk Brown person. I mean, it's horrible behavior. These people are feral at this point. And, yeah, I mean, she's lucky they didn't, and she held her ground. If you watch the video, she doesn't back down. She doesn't get up and leave. She could have. She stands. She stays, and takes this abuse. And it was abuse. They all need to be charged with a crime.
Democrat illegal alien Yefrey Archaga Elvir has been charged now with killing of a 15-year-old in Missouri. The 15-year-old boy by the name of Miles Young was begging for his life. He said, "I just don't want to die." Miles Young did absolutely nothing. Miles Young was led to believe that he was going to meet a girl, 15-year-old boy. And instead of meeting a girl, this Democrat illegal alien, because that's who brought him here, were the Democrats, and probably came through San Antonio for all I know, Yefrey Archaga Elvir. And Yefrey chased this 15-year-old down as the 15-year-old begged for his life. "Please, I don't want to die. Please, please don't kill me. I don't want to die." This illegal alien allegedly shot him execution style a number of times in the back and the back of the head. Again, you don't see any protests. And here's the other thing you don't see. Not one Democrat, not one, has said anything in condemnation of this.
Of course not.
Not one.
When do they ever? They never do. We could go through the blotter every single day of illegal immigrants who have committed, pretty horrific crimes against folks and kids. And you don't hear a word from any of these people. Why? Because it flies in the face of the narrative. They need to maintain so that, like these jackasses in Minneapolis, they feel justified in doing what they're doing.
Why? Is because they caused it.
Well, yeah.
They're the ones who did it.
Yeah,
they're the ones
absolutely.
who brought him here. They're the ones that facilitated him being here. They're the ones that allowed him to be here. They're the ones who have paid for him to be here. So, you know what? He murders a 15-year-old who's begging for his life.
He's probably in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Sure, it's his fault. Well, Alamo Water Softeners will make sure that you have the most incredible water experience at your home with an Alamo Water Softener at your home. You won't have to worry about hard water deposits destroying things like your pipes and your appliances and your clothing and all those kind of things. You'll have fresh, clean, soft water flowing through your pipes. It is the difference maker, and it's designed and made specifically for our hard water. You see, there is a difference. You just can't take a water softener that's made for anywhere. You can't take a water softener that's made in New Jersey and expect it to work right here in San Antonio. It doesn't work that way. We have a unique situation with our hard water deposits, and Alamo Water Softeners have developed the absolute cream of the crop when it comes to water softeners. They started in 2009, and now they are the leader in our area in water conditioning, water softening. I want you to check it out. Just go to alamowatersofteners.com. Invite them out to do a free, no-obligation water analysis to find out what's going on with your water and to prescribe for you the right water softener and program for you. In fact, when you purchase a select water softener system from Alamo, you'll get a free reverse osmosis drinking water system. You'll be drinking clean and pure and great-tasting water every time from alamowatersofteners.com. Sun and clouds today, a chance of rain and or storms. Later on, a high of 84, 72 right now at KTSA.
Good morning. Heads up on 281. Getting reports of a rollover accident southbound 281 at Hildebrand. It's in the right lane as you stop and go from Bassey, so tack on at least an extra 15 minutes to your commute. Did clear the wreck at 281 southbound near Mulberry. Road work continues on 35 upper level southbound between I-10 to just before North Florida Street. We've got 2 left lanes closed. And on I-10 eastbound 37, that stall off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Breaking news, bold analysis, and the stories shaping our future. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Are you looking for new windows, maybe siding, maybe even a patio cover, but you also want to keep your savings account from having a panic attack? I'm Eddie Murata, the window guy from Precision Windows and Doors. We're a local, family-owned window, siding, and door company. And the price? Let's just say we don't have the pushy commission salespeople. We pass the savings on to you. No limited time nonsense, just honest pricing and a quote you can trust. For energy-efficient windows, we've got them all the top brands and highest quality. Want the best siding in the business? We carry and install Hardy siding all over San Antonio. And if you're craving shade, we've got custom patio covers that'll make your backyard the envy of the block. At Precision Windows and Doors, we offer military and senior discounts, flexible financing, and only recommend what's best for your home. Call me, Eddie, the window guy, at 210-596-6588. That's 210-596-6588. Or visit PrecisionWindowsSA.com. Let's brighten up your home together.
At Ponderosa Ranch, your pup is our priority. Boarding, training, daycare, and bathing, we treat your dog like family. With 3 area locations, Ponderosa Ranch can't wait to be your pup's home away from home. Book their next day or stay with us at WeLoveYourDog.net.
Hey folks, this is Carl Eggers. You've heard me for over a decade on the Trey Ware Show. When was the last time you had a real financial checkup? Not a quick chat, not a sales pitch, an honest, personal review of where you stand and where you're headed. When you schedule a free financial checkup with us, you sit down with me personally, not a salesperson, not a high-volume call center. I personally walk you through your current cash flow, your investments, and yes, even your tax return, because your financial life isn't a one-size-fits-all. We actively manage your assets using unique, tailored investments, not cookie-cutter models or proprietary products. And we build comprehensive financial plans designed for you, your goals, your family, and your future. Give us a call at 210-526-0057. That's 210-526-0057 or visit creatingricherlives.com.
Investment management services offered by Cap Trust, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Our current disclosures are available on creatingricherlives.com.
Want a great way to boost your brand? Custom labels at Staples will help packages pop, shipments stand out, and takeout boxes really take off. Shop now through April 18th and save 30% on all custom labels. Staples, that was easy.
Operation Epic Fury, continuing coverage on News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
All right, it's 7:20 with Ware and Rima, KTSA.
You know, I love Chick-fil-A, and Chick-fil-A was in the news on a couple of different stories over the weekend, one pretty dark and one pretty interesting. First off, we had a shooting at a Chick-fil-A in outside of Newark, I believe, in New Jersey. Very disturbing story. They believe I think it was targeted. They're saying maybe it might have been somebody was targeted, but you had a bunch of it sounded like we were in Mexico. You had a bunch of guys in masks walk in, go behind the counter with I think they had semi-automatic weapons, and they just started firing. I think 4 people were were hit. But that's New Jersey. That sounds like something you'd see in Mexico. You know what I mean? Not trying to harp on Mexico, but that's where you see people just come into places and open up.
Or any third world country.
Any third world S-hole. That's that level of stuff. And so we're kind of waiting to learn more about that. But then you had a video that was all over social media the past few days that happened here in San Antonio. It was the location on San Pedro. And the manager was identified as Mr. Matt. Have you seen this? And he's walking around and he's preaching. He's preaching the Christian scripture. He's talking about sticking with God while folks are eating. Somebody obviously taped him while he was doing that, and then it went. They put it on TikTok. It went viral. And, my initial response was, because my wife showed me the video, is, well, it's Chick-fil-A, right? But, some people are upset by that. They wouldn't want, the manager of a fast food place to be walking around quoting scripture. Personally, I thought it was kind of cool myself. Chick-fil-A is not, Chick-fil-A very obviously is a Christian-owned business, and there's a Christian ethic throughout their business model. We've talked about that for years. That's who they are. And, of course, I am a Christian, so it wouldn't bother me at all if a dude was walking around saying, like, I watched the video in its entirety, and I was fine with everything he was saying. I can understand some people being put off by it.
Oh, well.
I don't know if it's like the wisest business choice in the world, because you're gonna invariably upset some people walking in.
But wait a minute, Chick-fil-A already does that just by being who they are,
and
their positions on a number of issues. Not the least of which abortion and homosexuality. So
homosexuality.
That's right. So they've already staked out their position and are well known. So anybody who walks into a Chick-fil-A, if you don't already know what their position is on some of these issues, that's on you. You already should know. Buyer beware.
Now what if you went into a fast food place and there was a guy walking around doing Muslim prayers?
Depends on if I knew it was a Muslim place or not.
If it was a Muslim place, if it was a Muslim place.
Chick-fil-A is well known for their stance. But even if I didn't know and I walked into a place and a guy was doing that, I would just say, either I like the food or I don't. One or the other. I don't think it's going to ruin my day one way or the other to have a guy doing that.
Well, no, I mean, it wouldn't ruin my day either way, but I thought it was interesting that he felt compelled to do that. I wonder if this is like standard practice.
Let me tell you something.
At Chick-fil-A.
There's a boldness out there. We talked about the pilot of Artemis 2.
Oh, right, Victor Glover.
And him standing up and saying what he had to say about God. Chicago Bulls former guard Jaden Ivey. I mentioned this last week.
Right.
But, he was kicked off the team for standing up for Christian values. I mean, he's a pro basketball player and a really good one, highly recruited.
Right.
And the Chicago Bulls kicked him off the team because he was standing up for Christ. Well, he went into the streets, man. He's street preaching now. It's on my X account. You can see him out there talking about Jesus with a microphone in the middle of the streets, man. This thing is real.
Oh, it definitely is, and you're seeing an uptick in church membership across the board. We talked in the past couple of weeks about how the Catholic Church has got a lot of young people who are choosing to become Catholic. It's definitely some kind of Christian renaissance happening in this country. And as I've put it, I think, really conservative Christians are the cool people in the room right now. They're the most rebellious against the establishment, which is largely, if you're talking about media and culture, is dominated by secular leftists. You're actually fighting the man more as being an open Christian these days, in a sense, than a handful of years ago. The hippie kids and the weirdos were fighting the man. Now they are the man, and Christians are the ones who are the cool kids in the room. It's really interesting to watch.
Yeah.
It really is.
Kind of good to go to a Chick-fil-A and church break out. I like it.
Well, I mean, to your point, it's kind of situational. Like, it is a Chick-fil-A. That was my initial reaction to some of the comments I heard that were negative on this. And certainly there are going to be people who, if you're the manager and you're walking around quoting scripture and preaching, they're going to not like that, and they're going to get up and leave. I don't think Chick-fil-A corporate is worried all that much. Don't they tend to rank year after year as one of the most successful fast food chains in America? Mm-hmm. Not just at the airports, but just in general. I mean, they got a great business model there. We talked last week about how they get people through the drive-through. I mean, every cashier, everybody you encounter at Chick-fil-A, any Chick-fil-A you go to is pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they engage you in a way that you really don't see customer service in most places these days. It's quite the opposite.
People who are bold for their faith, they're not worried about the economics of it.
Well,
their faith is to people who are bold about their faith is more important than the economic fallout of their faith, and that's probably where he is. Maybe Chick-fil-A is corporately has a different idea, but the manager certainly feels bold enough about his faith. He's not really concerned if a couple people get upset. I don't think anybody got upset though. This particular time.
No, I mean, on the
it
video,
didn't look like anybody went,
no, there was the comments from people.
Yeah,
I was reading comments from people like, well, I'd get up and walk out if I was in that Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Okay. But again, it is Chick-fil-A.
Right.
But if people, we're also dealing with public displays of Islam in New York and public prayers. We talk about Sharia law here in Texas. So it is kind of a line we're walking, in that sense, just from a conversational standpoint.
Well, and the difference between that is they're trying to take over the entire judicial system and legal system of our country with Sharia law and supplant the Constitution and our freedoms and our Bill of Rights and all of those kind of things, which the Sharia law has no Bill of Rights.
Right.
You don't have any freedoms. You don't have the First, Second, Third, Fourth, the Fifth Amendment. You have nothing other than what they tell you and how they tell you you're going to live your life.
Right.
That's the difference. Somebody just preaching the gospel of Jesus, you can turn it off or you can leave.
Well, I'm kind of interested to hear what what the reaction corporately is, because really I haven't seen anything on that yet. But again, as you said, he felt pretty confident about it. I don't think it was a one-off. It didn't seem to me like it was the first time he'd done this.
Sure.
But I applaud the Christian renaissance going on in the country right now. I think the timing is perfect.
It's a good thing.
And I think Charlie Kirk had a lot to do with that.
He had everything to do with it. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
All right, more Ware and Rima coming up here on KTSA.
Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. Call Connecticut and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Hey, it's Sean. I want to talk to you about Zintex Remodeling Group. I've been working with them over the past few months. We're looking at a couple of renovations in my house, and that's what they do, bathroom renovations. In fact, that's their specialty at Zintex Remodeling Group. They've been at it for over a quarter of a century, and most installations and renovations can be completed in as little as one day. So I tell you every day, they offer free, no-obligation in-home consultations, and right now you'll get $1,000 off your project or no interest for 12 months. Plus, when you mention KTSA, you'll also get a free fold-down bench seat with your purchase. We're kind of changing up our vision for our master bathroom because of my back problems. So I know I'm going to be talking to Zintex coming up. If you'd like to schedule an appointment with one of their design consultants, it's very easy to do. Just go to the website, zintex.com. That's ZINTEX.com.
Well, you can't turn on the news or open a business journal lately without seeing these two letters, AI. Hey, Trey Ware here. I know what many of you business leaders are feeling, that mounting pressure to do something. But here's the reality. Rushing into AI just to say you're doing it is a fast track to security breaches, compliance nightmares, and a whole lot of wasted capital. That's why I want to tell you about Bridgehead IT. They aren't here to sell you on the latest shiny object or trending bot. They're here to give you a strategy. It starts with their AI assessment. Bridgehead IT sits down with your team to identify where AI can actually deliver measurable value and where it's just noise. They prioritize protecting your sensitive data and ensuring your transition is secure from day one. Bridgehead IT focuses on clarity first. You get a roadmap built on outcomes, not hype. If AI is on your roadmap for 2026, start with the experts who put security and your bottom line first. Visit bridgeheadit.com. That's bridgeheadit.com.
Discover the difference that Jesus Christ can make in your life at Cornerstone Church, located at 18755 Stone Oak Parkway in San Antonio. Every Sunday morning at 8:30 and 11 and Sunday evenings at 6:30, join Pastors John and Matt Hagee as they preach the uncompromising Word of God. Can't make it to the church? Cornerstone offers live streaming of all the Sunday worship services. You can find them each Sunday online at jhm.org and on Facebook Live. JHM.org also offers on-demand sermons by Pastors John and Matt Hagee, concerts with award-winning Christian artists, as well as special, well-known guest speakers from around the nation and the world. Cornerstone Church offers encouragement for every stage of life. They have special programs for kids, teens, and young adults as well. So bring your family and friends to Cornerstone Church at the corner of 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. For more information, visit sacornerstone.org or call 210-490-1600. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Hey, it's Sean, and I've talked to or been using John Wayne Service Company for a long time since we got the place almost 8 years ago, whether it's your heating and AC or electrical, your plumbing, they can handle it. Those big, beautiful trucks are stocked with pretty much everything they would need for whatever gig or job you have. Right now, we're talking a lot about our AC systems. A couple of things. First off, they still have their $89 AC tune-up, which includes a full 35-point inspection to keep your AC running factory fresh this summer. But also, they provide you with a second opinion on that AC system. If you've had somebody else come by your place and take a look at your system, they may try to upsell you on a new system that you don't need. You can trust my friends at John Wayne Service Company to give you the honest truth about your system. And again, they offer that $89 AC tune-up. And I think the confidence of opinion that you don't need a new system. They're not going to try to sell you something you don't need. So talk to my friends at John Wayne by calling or texting 210-293-7600 or look them up online at johnwayne.com.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
There's no sign of peace between the U.S. and Iran. We'll get the latest on that coming up at 8 o'clock. Could Republicans win the race for governor in California? Well, new developments suggest it might be a possibility. And 2 people now facing a charge of capital murder after 2 bodies were found near Medina Lake last week. We've got more on that coming up. KTSA News Time 7:32.
Good morning. We are working a few trouble spots as you head into your early morning commute. This report sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Still have that wreck at 281 southbound right around Mulberry. It's in the right lane, so a little bit of stop and go starting right around Hildebrand. On I-10 upper level, westbound before 35, that stalls off to the right shoulder, and another stall on the shoulder, 410 southbound at South WWY. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
A warm start to the week with mostly cloudy skies that'll be humid and breezy with a thunderstorm this afternoon, the high of 84. Breezy and humid this evening. Warm tonight, the low 70 along the Riverwalk and 67 in the Hill Country. Breezy, warm, and humid with clouds and sun Tuesday, the high 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Right now, 72 degrees under cloudy skies at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Okay, it's 7:33. Ware and Rima here at KTSA. The peace talks failed after 21 hours. Now, look, most of the Iranian Navy's at the bottom of the sea. We know that. But our Navy is there with a blockade that begins a little over an hour from right now at 9 o'clock our time here in San Antonio. Here's the president on with Maria Bartiromo asking this question.
And this is a key point, Mr. President. For those people out there who have not been following it as closely, can you explain to those people why it was critical for the United States to go into Iran? Can you articulate what was behind that move that was so important for the U.S. to go into Iran?
Yeah, so easy. The easiest question you've asked me so far. They can't have nuclear weapons. They have nuclear. They want to enrich what they have. They want to enrich more. As you know, we knocked out with the B-2 bombers. Had we not knocked that out, they would have had a nuclear weapon within 1 month after we knocked out. In other words, had the B-2s, those beautiful B-2 bombers, totally obliterated their 3 sites. They have 3 sites. And they are now deep in the earth with, tons of rock. Now, that material should be gotten, but we have cameras on it. We have satellites with Space Force. That was one of my beauties, Space Force. So important. But we're watching those. We're watching every single aspect of that area. They can't move without us knowing exactly what's going on. But it's deep down, and it takes a long time to get it out.
And we want it, and we want them to give us assurances, which they will not do, that they will not enrich again in the future. So that was the easiest question that she had asked him yesterday in this wide-ranging, far-reaching, put it that way, interview on the show yesterday.
This is the first time I've heard you actually call Trump out for being kind of rambly.
Oh, he was,
and he was
all over the place.
Pretty rambly.
Oh, it was terrible. It was all over the place.
You know, and there comes a point where, especially in a crisis situation or a tense situation like this, maybe brevity is kind of the way to go, Mr. President.
I believe in that in every situation, that brevity, self-editing, it's the way to go. But that's okay. I mean, he is Trump. He can do whatever he wants. She obviously was letting him do whatever he wanted to. He was talking about blocking the Strait of Hormuz, which begins this morning at 9 o'clock our time. It's either all in or all out.
Tell us what you're trying to accomplish with this blockade,
all in,
sir.
All out. Yep. It's called all in and all out. There'll be a time when we'll have them all come in and all come out, but it won't be a percentage. It won't be a friend of yours, like a country that's your ally or a country that's your friend. It's all or nothing, and that won't be in too long a distance. No, we're just bringing the ships up. We got a lot of ships, so we're bringing them up.
Okay, so here's what he's doing, and it really is a smart move on his part. Now, it's going to be, the Democrats, they won't like anything that the man does, but this is a smart move. This is basically playing the Trump card on them. Iran had been using the Strait of Hormuz for themselves and not allowing anybody else to get oil through there. If you paid them $1 million per vessel or more, you could probably get it through in a limited amount, a limited way. They weren't even allowing much to go through there. But everything that China buys 90% of Iranian oil, 90% of their oil, and it flows through the strait. So China was still buying oil, funding their war machine. Remember what I've been talking about, how this is primarily a war against China being fought through Iran. This is crimping off a lot of resources that China has had. In addition to that, Iran has been buying weaponry from China that they are using in Iran to shoot our pilots out of the sky like they did a couple of weeks ago. So the president is also ending that. So he's ending the oil flow by crimping or turning off the Strait of Hormuz. No more oil out of Iran is going to be flowing over to China. He's also, everybody else is sending their tankers to our Gulf Coast to fill up on our oil.
Is there like just to jump in, there's like a 50% tariff on anybody who buys Iranian oil as well?
50% tariff on anybody who sells weapons to Iran. And he's putting a 50% if he finds out that they have sold these missiles to Iran, that he's going to put a 50% tariff on China. And he said that yesterday during this interview.
I thought that was also oil if you buy any oil.
Well, yeah, we've already had that. Yeah. So the new one was, though, 50% tariff if you sell weapons to Iran.
Right.
So the oil, the guys are bringing the tankers to our Gulf Coast to fill up. We produce, right now, because of him, we produce more oil than Saudi Arabia, who's number one, Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. So we've got a ton of oil. We're going to be selling that oil and banking that money. Here he is talking about they came in with the cards. They didn't have any cards to put on the table, and I'm going to get into what those cards are in just a second. He's talking about the negotiations with the vice president.
Well, they reacted. It was very interesting. It started off weak. They came in like they had the cards, but they don't have the cards. Their army, their whole military is obliterated. The whole place is obliterated, and as you know, levels of leaders are gone. They're literally gone. Khomeini's gone. The whole thing is gone. The whole place is gone. They have one thing that they can do. They can say, well, gee, we're going to put a mine someplace just a mine. We'll drop 1 mine, 2 mines, 10 mines. And that will, if you have a ship that costs $1 billion, you'll say, well, I prefer not getting whacked by a mine, losing my ship or damaging it badly, at least.
Well, and the main problem with that, brought it up months ago, is the insurance companies have canceled the insurance on all those tankers because of those mines. So they're not going to insure them. So those shipping companies, they cannot, even if they wanted to, they couldn't carry that oil through there because they don't have any insurance on those tankers now, or the oil, or the men that are on there. So here's what J.D. Vance had offered the Iranians in the 21-hour negotiation. End the uranium enrichment. Dismantle the enrichment facilities. Turn over the enriched uranium to us. Agree to a peace plan with the regional allies there. in funding of terror proxies like Hezbollah and Hamas, and then open Hormuz. And they said, no, we're not willing to do any of that. So they're not willing to be a rational nation on planet Earth and get along with everybody else. They want nuclear weapons for obvious reasons. They want to continue to fund their terror proxies, and they want to continue to control the Strait of Hormuz. That's not sustainable for us.
Well, it's not going to happen, and he knows he can take care of it on his own, and he knows that we can be, the biggest supplier of oil around the world. It's reordering the Western Hemisphere and the East. I mean, really the whole world as far as global economics. I look at stuff like this, and I wonder, well, what happens next? I mean, yeah, we got a blockade going. I mean, I've said for a long time that, oil is an exceptional reason to fight a war. I mean, it really is a very reasonable thing to want to be able to control because it controls every aspect of our lives. We need oil. Everybody needs oil. So, the Iranians, they need to be able to sell it or to be able to make money off the Hormuz Strait. They're going to lose that. China's getting choked off as far as where they get their oil from. It just seems to me like we're getting to a pretty big contest here as far as all of these nations. I'm not saying World War III stuff, but this would be World War III stuff.
I think what is going to happen here is honest to goodness regime change, and that's what we're pushing for. When it gets so bad now that it's unsustainable because economically their economy collapses, which is going to collapse.
Certainly.
And when that happens, we see regime change. Like we've never seen before since 1979 over there, where an entire new group of people come in who aren't necessarily pro-Western, but they're not theocratic terrorists, which you have now. So this is going to be the impetus for more and more people to join the revolutionary movement to unseat those crazy mullahs who are in charge over there. So
right, but again, we keep bringing up the Chinese factor because the Chinese are not theocrats; they're just good old-fashioned communists, and they need lots of oil to maintain their nation.
And that's the brilliance of what Trump is doing, because he is probably engaging the Chinese in regime change.
Well, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they need it.
They don't They don't really care if they're dealing with a theocratic terrorist or a pro-Western Shah like prior to 1979. China doesn't care as long as their needs are met. Right? They don't as long as they have an ally there, they really don't care.
At some point, Iran becomes Eric Swalwell to China, and it's like, as far as this current regime, like, well, do we hold on to these guys or not?
And what happens is China is the one that instigates the regime change and pulls it off, and bam, we've got a brand new regime that we can actually work with there and open up the strait and get rid of the nukes. I mean, that's the bottom line to all this.
Well, yeah, it's a straight in the nukes. I mean, ultimately, but you see, if you kind of imagine what happens once we do accomplish that, you've also reordered the global economy.
Of course you have.
And in a way such as we've never seen in our lifetimes.
And that's the brilliance of what Trump is doing here. People think he's just a dummy, with dementia, but he is bringing China to be directly involved in getting rid of the nukes that are in Iran. Let's listen to it.
Well, we're going to be blockading. It'll take a little while, but it'll be effective pretty soon. And we had meetings yesterday. They, as you said, lasted 21 hours. That was a long meeting. We had some very, very good representatives, as you know, J.D. and Steve and Jared. So we were well represented, but we didn't get there on the important issue. They want to have nuclear weapons. They're not going to have nuclear weapons. I've been saying that for 30 years. I would never allow that to happen before I was in politics. And that country will not have nuclear weapons.
What I don't understand right now, the weird one to me that's kind of floating around my brain out here that I can't put together because I'm seeing all of them say it. Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, Candy Owens, Megyn Kelly. It just seems to me that it looks like they want us to fail and Iran to win this thing because of the way they're talking about how Donald Trump is gone. He's controlled by Bibi Netanyahu.
No, come on.
MAGA is dead.
Oh, I know they're saying it, but they're making asses out of themselves because there's nothing in reality that supports any of that.
Well, I'm just wondering where they're coming off with this and why they're saying these kinds of things. When this has been a war that Iran has waged against us for 47 years. This is not new. And Tucker certainly knows more about this than anybody else because his connections to the CIA. He knows.
So why are they doing it? I mean,
that's my question.
Candace Owens, I think she's just a fame-seeking jackass. But, I mean, why is Tucker's not a stupid guy? even Alex Jones isn't a stupid guy. So I don't know. I mean, is it really just about going up against MAGA and making a name for yourself, and no one's really paying all that much attention to you, not like in the old days when you had the Fox show?
I don't know if that's it. I don't know if they are looking at this as a way to, up their cred, their street cred out there. If they really want Trump to lose the midterms, if they're working toward that goal, because that's essentially what they're doing. They are relegating MAGA to the dustbin and saying, now it's not MAGA anymore, it's America first, and they've got blue hats. Now, blue is a color of the Democrats. I don't know. I have no idea. I have yet – it mystifies me as to why all of a sudden those that I mentioned in particular are the ones that are leading this charge, anti-Trump charge.
I have no idea.
And they're saying, this is not what we voted for. Well, it sort of is. He's not ending wars. He's starting wars. No. This is an end to a 47-year war. That's what he's doing.
I mean, he's ending an old war. I mean, anybody who's paying attention knows that. It's not, and you're also denying all of the other ongoing conflicts that he did end. So I don't know. To me, it just feels like, and if Candace Owens is kind of the, if we use her as the best example, to me it just feels like it's a way of getting attention. Because it's a pretty, to go against MAGA at this particular moment, it just seems to me like you're trying to get people to pay attention to you.
It seems to me that they're trying to fracture MAGA, and I can't figure out why they're trying to do that. It might just be as simple as getting attention to themselves, but it seems to me that there's something else that's going on.
Well, what do you think?
I don't know.
Is it Chinese intervention?
Here's what I think, that they are trying to fracture MAGA. I don't know why. But they are trying to do that.
Well, but are those three capable of actually accomplishing that?
No, they don't.
I don't think they are.
They don't have the kind of power to be able to fracture MAGA. The polling shows that everybody loves what he's doing. That his goals over there, with Iran, people love what he's doing, trying to bring them to heel and all those kinds of things. No, I can't figure out. It's just really weird why all of a sudden they turned on him. And now they're trying to fracture MAGA. Something's going on. I haven't figured out.
It's got a Marjorie Taylor Greene feel about it. If that makes sense.
Well, she's one of them.
That's what I mean. Yeah. It's got kind of that feel to it.
I just don't know what it is. So, let me tell you about my friends over at BG Products in your vehicle. BG is absolutely a fantastic aid to keeping your car on the road. And when you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars in repair costs or replacement costs to your vehicle, whether you drive a truck or a car, doesn't matter, big truck, even over the road vehicle or whatever, BG is your best bet in making sure that it is protected. And I'm talking about protection from wear and tear, the costly breakdowns, and ended up costing you a ton of money. So you want to avoid all that. You also, right now, with gas being, $4 or even more, I think I paid $4.13 the other day for the premium. You want to make sure that you're maximizing your mileage, and there's a way to do that. A couple of ways. First of all, the MOA in the crankcase is the best lubrication. So less friction means you use less fuel to operate your vehicle. The same is true when you're talking about the 44K. It cleans out the entire system, including the injectors, lubes everything on the top side of the engine, which means you get better performance, which means you use less gasoline and you save money. And it's all from BG. Next time you have your oil change, ask the guy who changes the oil to do the BG service. You can find those shops anywhere. They're all over the place at bgfindashop.com. Sun and clouds today with a chance of rain or storms and a high about 84. Right now, 72. KTSA.
Good morning. We are working a few trouble spots as you head into your early morning commute. This report sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Still have that wreck at 281 southbound right around Mulberry. It's in the right lane, so a little bit of stop and go starting right around Hildebrand. On I-10 upper level, westbound before 35, that stalls off to the right shoulder, and another stall on the shoulder, 410 southbound at South WWY. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Dave Ramsey here. When your AC quits, the plumbing backs up, or something electrical goes sideways, you need straight answers. That's why I recommend Champion Home Services. They handle heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. One company with no pressure and no games or upselling. Just honesty and clear pricing before anything starts. You see the purple Champion trucks and their belt buckle logo all over town. Champion believes in doing things the right way the first time. They show up on time, respect your home, they respect your money, and they do the work like professionals should, helping you sleep better at night. So when you need reliable AC, plumbing, and electrical help from people you can trust, call Champion Home Services at 210-528-1604 or go to championac.com. Trustworthy, Texas-proud home services, championac.com. And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and respect. A firm backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients. If you've been injured, trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
When the dollar's convertibility into gold ended in 1971, gold was fixed at $35 an ounce. Fast forward to today, and the U.S. dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold has increased in value by over 12,000%. Central banks are buying gold at record levels. Major firms are holding significant positions in gold. And I choose to buy gold from Birch Gold Group. It's Dan Bongino, and it all starts with education. Birch Gold just announced their Learn and Earn Precious Metals event. This free online event rewards you for learning the basics of investing in precious metals. Sign up to get free silver on your next purchase if you qualify. And you can get even larger incentives as you go. The more you learn, the more you can earn. But act now. This special event only runs through April 30th. So text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 to join Birch Gold's Learn and Earn Precious Metals event by April 30th. Text Dan to 989898 today. Message and data rates may apply.
My name is Vicky. I'm 50 and love reading, gardening, and watching movies. I was diagnosed with 2 autoimmune diseases and told I'd be on medication for the rest of my life. I was constantly tired. I go to bed tired and wake up tired. I had severe allergies and I was depressed. I knew something had to change. I literally was tired of being tired. I made an appointment with Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. I knew right away he was different. He had commitment and dedication to me as his patient. He's the first doctor I've met that actually read my chart and spent time understanding my situation. I began his program and dropped 20 pounds in the first 30 days. I'm now down 70 pounds and went from a size 16 to a size 5'7". My joint pain is gone. I'm no longer on medications and I stopped being tired. I feel amazing. Dr. Torres has changed my life.
I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com, 468-1891.
Energy efficient windows built to last. Call Precision Windows and Doors at 210-596-6588. PrecisionWindowsSA.com.
Trey Ware for Dr. Sally and everybody at Here in Texas. They'd love to see you, talk with you about your hearing, and possibly prescribe hearing aids for you to help you hear things you've never heard before. They really are amazing at Here, H-E-A-R, HereInTX.com.
Today's Pledge of Allegiance, powered by Stevens Roofing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and its republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And every Monday at this time, Carl Eggers, CreatingRicherLives.com, joins us with the latest on the economy and what's going on. And Carl, we're headed into, looks like numbers going to be down this morning upon the opening. What's going on?
Yeah, a little bit, but, good morning, Trey. What if I was to tell you that this is crazy? Since the war began, there's actually one sector out there that has outperformed energy stocks. It's technology. Technology is up, literally in the green, since the day the war began. And energy stocks are the only other sector that's in the green. But the point of all this is that, I think people's perception is that the market's down dramatically from its high and where it was. And yet, the S&P 500 is down somewhere in the order of less than 1% since this war began. So it's been a quicker sell-off, a quicker rebound. And, being that it was Masters Week, I said on my podcast this weekend that, you should be trying to hit down the middle of the fairway if you're with your portfolio. It's really easy to get whipsawed in this market because it's very headline-driven. And so it's very easy to say, okay, talks have broke down, I better sell. Or, this is resolved, I better go buy everything. You need to just rebalance and hit it down the middle of the fairway, because if you get whipsawed, that essentially means you're doing the complete opposite of what you should be doing, and then you're going to end up at the end of the year going, how did I lose so much money? And it's because you were tinkering a little too much.
Yeah, and the president said yesterday it's not down nearly as much as he thought it was going to be. Carl Eggers, CreatingRicherLives.com.
Well, I was going to talk about, I heard Jack talking about teaching the Bible in Texas schools, and the Board of Education had a preliminary vote on this on Friday, I believe, and he's spent a lot of time. I don't know that you and I have talked about this yet. But I don't know if I should hold it over until next hour. I also wanted to mention very briefly, and I don't know what happened. Maybe somebody can explain this to me. Every Saturday, and Elaine and I kind of do the same thing, where I watch memory television because they show all the Westerns on Saturday, all the old Bonanza, the Big Valley. I long for it all week long. I take a break from the news to watch the Westerns. I'm watching MeTV on Saturday. And they're showing a hockey game. They broke from memory television programming to show a hockey game, and then they picked up with Rawhide when the hockey game was over. Now, I understand it's probably
during the day?
Yes, I was watching it on Saturday for, however many years I've been watching the Westerns on memory television every Saturday. It's the first time I've ever seen anything like that happen.
Yeah.
All those Westerns were preempted for a hockey game.
Blame Canada.
I do blame Canada. Thanks for the astronaut. We love him. But, so I just thought that was odd. I don't know why. But later on, maybe we can get into – what's this?
Yeah, no, I was just – go ahead.
It's just kind of odd, that I didn't know that maybe it's a contractual thing. They got to show the hockey games or something. But I've just never seen that.
They had to clear it for some reason.
And I was very disappointed. I did not get to watch all of my Westerns on Saturday.
What does happen sometimes is if it can't be on their premier channels, which I think Channel 12 is connected to them,
right.
KSAT and all that.
Yes, it is.
Then they have to move whatever programming
is. They moved the Big Valley, Trey. That's not cool, man.
I have a complaint as well.
They moved Bonanza. What's that?
They on 101, Channel 101, they had Premier Soccer all freaking weekend. And
what's supposed to be on 101?
I couldn't see my Law and Order.
Well, Law and Order.
Oh, they interrupted your Law and Order marathon for soccer?
What? Y'all's weekend just sucked.
It did.
No. Mine was awesome.
Knocked off course.
Now, these two,
Where's my
bad.
Bonanza?
Yeah.
Now, USA Network does carry the Premier League. They have the rights in the morning.
Terrible.
You know what? Turn that damn TV off over the weekend. Read a good book or something like that. Talk to your spouse.
We talk to our spouses.
Don't sit there and take it up.
This weekend
I did. I read 2 books this weekend.
You read 2 books this weekend.
I sure did.
Well,
I'm not getting a spouse just to make you happy, Trey Ware.
And I'm not going to learn to read.
More Ware and Rima coming up. KTSA.
When you want the best, when you want a metal roof that doesn't cost that much more, that is truly lifetime quality, that's backed up by a company with years and years and years of experience, and that's what Southwest Metal Roofing Systems is all about. But it's not just the metal, it's the workmanship. They do it right the first time, every time. They can give you the best warranty in the industry because they never have to come out and do anything. It's getting close to 20 years since they put the roof on my home up in Bernie, and I've not called them with a single problem. You have a lot of choices. If you don't like brilliant standing seam metal, you can have your choice of about 20 different colors. I chose red, and the story behind that I won't go into. But you can also have roofs that don't even look like metal, look like ceramic tile or slate or shake shingles. Southwest Metal Roofing Systems does it all at amazingly reasonable prices. Learn more? Give them a call. 210-822-6868. That's 210-822-6868 for Southwest Metal Roofing Systems.
Hey, it's Sean. If your AC is struggling, my friends at John Wayne can help you fast. Call John Wayne for HVAC, plumbing, and electrical, one company for the whole house. You get straight answers and clear options with no pressure. Now, if you think you need a new AC system, get a free estimate from John Wayne. Especially if another company told you that you need a big repair or a full replacement, get a free second opinion from John Wayne. A second opinion can save you from replacing a system you might not need to replace. Plus, a free estimate helps you compare your options and make a smart decision. John Wayne can inspect your system, explain what's going on, and tell you what makes the most sense. They handle AC repairs and full replacements every day here in San Antonio. So call my friends at John Wayne or book an appointment online. Either way, it's easy to get on the schedule, and you can see these great coupon offers plus other current deals on the John Wayne website. Click coupons for details. Call them up today, 210-293-6700, or look them up online at johnwayne.com.
This is San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station. KTSA.
It's 8 o'clock, KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. In an hour from now, U.S. Central Command says a blockade on all Iranian ports will be in effect. This comes hours after President Trump said on Truth Social it was time for the U.S. military to start cleaning out the Strait of Hormuz. This comes hours after Vice President J.D. Vance spent much of the weekend trying to negotiate a peace deal with Iran, but to no avail. Congressman Eric Swalwell is dropping out of the race for California governor, and that's because of sexual assault allegations now being investigated by the Manhattan DA's office. And yet,
the congressman categorically denies any misconduct took place, and we intend to vindicate his rights in court.
Swalwell's attorney, Elias Debye, some think the growing turmoil in the Democrat Party could pave the way for a Republican governor in the Golden State. But that hasn't happened since Arnold Schwarzenegger left office in 2011. Two suspects now charged with capital murder after the bodies of a married couple were found in a ravine near Medina Lake. Cassandra Lang and Joby Williams are accused of killing Stephen and Cherry Rabine last week. The Medina County Sheriff's Office says the victims are Lang's mother and stepfather. Investigators say the victims were killed on Monday in their home in Mico, just south of the lake. Lang and Williams were caught in Corpus Christi on Wednesday driving a car that belonged to the victims, according to police. Detectives say Lang admitted she and Williams had killed the Rabines and dumped their bodies in the ravine. Foreigner's got a new album on the way. It's called The Eye of the Storm, and it's the official soundtrack to the band's 50th anniversary concert album. The first single, Feels Like a First Time, is going to be out April 17th. The full album is expected to drop on July 17th. Time now for a look at KTSA Sports, sponsored by Connecticut Quality Water Systems. And here we go with Vic Brown.
At the Masters, Rory McIlroy does it again, becoming the fourth ever to go back-to-back at Augusta and the first since Tiger Woods back in 2001-2002. Scottie Scheffler finished one off the pace and finished in second. The San Antonio Spurs fell to the Nuggets 128-118 and faced the winner of the 7-versus-8 matchup between Portland and Phoenix. The Texas Rangers beat the LA Dodgers 5-2 in their series finale to avoid the sweep. They open a series tonight on the road against the A's. You can catch that game on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 8 with the pregame. I'm Vic Brown with 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTSA Time Saver Traffic and your KTSA AccuWeather forecast up next on 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
I love my Connecticut water softener. Dave here, and yes, I own a Connecticut. Other water softeners just can't measure up. So if your old unit keeps breaking, leaking, or burning through salt, stop paying for frustration. A Connecticut doesn't run on electricity. It powers itself using your water flow and only cleans itself when needed, not on a timer. And Connecticut backs its efficiency claims with independent testing through the Water Quality Association. Connecticut protects your plumbing and appliances. It helps dishes and fixtures stay cleaner and leaves your skin and hair feeling better. And right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. For clean, pure water 24/7, call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE, and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
At Ponderosa Ranch, your pup is our priority. Boarding, training, daycare, and bathing, we treat your dog like family. With 3 area locations, Ponderosa Ranch can't wait to be your pup's home away from home. Book their next day or stay with us at WeLoveYourDog.net.
Ready to love your floors again? Discover the latest European oak hardwood floors at Pride Floors. Wide planks, natural tones with a timeless style. See it in our showroom or visit our website at pridefloors.com. Expert guidance with a lifetime labor warranty. pridefloors.com.
It's time to improve your home, slow it down, and do it right. Choose a company worthy of your trust and worthy of your family. For windows, siding, and doors, call or visit southwestexteriors.com. Southwest Exteriors, the look you love coming home to.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
KTSA News Time 8:04. It is a Monday, rush hour happening. Let's see what's going on with KTSA Time Saver traffic.
Good morning. Heads up on 281. Getting reports of a rollover accident southbound 281 at Hildebrand. It's in the right lane as you stop and go from Bassey, so tack on at least an extra 15 minutes to your commute. Did clear the wreck at 281 southbound near Mulberry. Road work continues on 35 upper level southbound between I-10 to just before North Florida Street. We've got 2 left lanes closed. And on I-10 eastbound 37, that stall off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
Might want to take an umbrella just in case today. It'll be mostly cloudy and humid. Breezy this afternoon with a thunderstorm, the high 84. Breezy and humid this evening, cloudy and warm tonight. The low just 70 along the Riverwalk and 67 in the Hill Country. Breezy, warm and humid again Tuesday with the high of 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
72 degrees under cloudy skies at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
News Talk 550 KTSA.
Eric Swalwell's world has fallen apart, and rightly so. It needed to a long time ago, but the Democrats and the media were willing to look the other way as long as he was doing his job, which was being the chief liar next to Adam Schiff about Donald Trump. As long as he was doing that, as long as he was doing what he was expected to do, then it was okay. But the instant it became a liability, and John Nolte does a phenomenal job writing about this in Breitbart.com this weekend, once he became a liability in the governor's race, because the way it works in California is not the way it works in most places. In Texas, we take out of the primary, we take one from the Democrats and one from the Republicans, and they go head-to-head to decide who the governor is going to be. In California, they take the top 2 that are polling in the primary. And right now, the top 2 are both Republicans. The Democrats, there's a 3-way race, and they're splitting the vote on the Democrat side. So the media was looking at that, and the Democrat Party was looking at that, and they were saying, hey, we're not going to have a chance to even vote for a Democrat. We'll have one Republican and another Republican we're going to vote for. We can't have that. So it's time to start exposing the Swalwell mess. Here he is just a few weeks ago.
I was a prosecutor at Oakland for 7 years. And where justice was warranted and mercy was warranted, I showed it. And where a stiff punishment was warranted because somebody got hurt, I saw it. And I will not be a governor that tolerates violence against women.
I will not be a governor who tolerates violence against women. So let me just play this, and let's see if you honestly think this is violence against women or if this is okay behavior.
Decided to ask him to meet me for a drink. And I did this because I was so far removed from what had happened in 2019. I felt safe because I was established. I had a partner. I felt more secure that I could have a strictly professional relationship with this person. After that bar closed, we went to another. I went to the bathroom, and I don't remember anything after that.
You don't remember anything?
I remember the next day. I can see flashes of that evening, of him on top of me pushing him off.
She goes in to describe what I consider to be rape here. Listen.
Him grabbing me, it was a lot more aggressive. It was aggressive.
Did you say no?
Yes, I said no. In my flash that I can recall, I was pushing him off of me saying no.
And what did he do?
He didn't stop.
He didn't stop. That to me sounds like rape. If I were a prosecutor, and I'm not, but if I were a prosecutor, I would have them arrested and hauled in. The prosecutor doesn't have to have her press charges on a criminal matter. That's for a prosecutor to do. So I would be seeking that. And maybe they are at this point. Now, again, the politics of this being played by the Democrats, Democrats are going to play politics and they don't care who gets hurt. They kept their mouths shut for years. Bang, bang, fang, fang. I mean, he had an affair, allegedly, with a Chinese spy, okay, according to FBI. They're the ones who told everybody about this.
Yeah, he was also on the Intelligence Oversight Committee at the time, wasn't he?
And Nancy Pelosi was advised by the FBI that he was sleeping with a Chinese spy, and Nancy Pelosi kept him on the Intel Committee instead of removing him. And he, on the Intel Committee, had access to information that regular old members of Congress or members of other committees did not have. Our nation's highest secrets are shared with the Intel Committee. He's sleeping with a Chinese spy. We also have video that came out among 4 others that accused him of what sounds to me like rape, but 4 others did that. And we had video that surfaced this weekend where he's grabbing a woman on a bed, and it looks like there's at least 2 other people. There's a guy in the video, and somebody with a camera or a phone is videoing this, and he grabs her by the mouth and shoves her mouth on him. He also exposed himself in a car, according to these girls. Took his private cell.
Unsolicited pictures that he sent them, apparently.
And unsolicited pictures, both, that he would go down the street and go to a woman's house and yell at her to come down, and then he would tell her he wants pictures of her. This had been going on for years, and they knew it.
Well, Nolte takes it back to the Me Too movement, where we had to watch people get canceled out into Nowheresville, because of some brief interaction with somebody, and everybody knew about guys like Swalwell. They all knew this was going on. Nolte brings up how congressional workers would say to each other, "Don't give this guy your cell phone number. You'll never stop hearing from him." So it was an open secret that he's a scumbag. But again, as Nolte points out, you weren't hearing about that. He was protected like any other Democrat until he became a liability in California.
Once again, the reason for that is there are 3 Democrats running, and they were splitting the vote. So you were going to end up with a Republican versus a Republican for governor. But Democrats and the media can't have that.
But think about all of the moral choices that all kinds of people had to make on a daily basis to protect a guy like that.
Immoral choices.
When it's an open, everybody knows what's going on.
And
whether you're in D.C. or California, wherever the hell you are, everybody knows.
So, including a guy who calls him his best friend, Adam Schiff.
Oh, God.
Adam Schiff was...
They said if you've just joined or you're came in late, Senator Adam Schiff, a friend, a partner, endorsing our campaign.
Well, first of all, let me say how proud I am to support you, Eric. And, before you got in the race, it was fully my intention to probably stay out of the race. A lot of friends are running. A lot of very, capable people are in this field who, I have great respect for.
And so this is what Swalwell put up yesterday.
That you see and hear from me directly. These allegations of sexual assault are flat false. They are absolutely false. They did not happen. They have never happened. And I will fight them with everything that I have.
So just what we have out here, which is not privy to all the other stuff inside, but what we have seen and what we have heard from 55 former staffers writing a letter saying, "Oh, it's all true. We know it's all true. We saw it's all true." There's more evidence against him than there was E. Jean Carroll and Donald John Trump.
Blank loads. Yeah, absolutely. His statement about dropping out of the gubernatorial race, though, was kind of interesting in that he said he needs to apologize to his wife and his family for past mistakes. But then in the same statement, he says he's going to fight these untrue allegations with all that he has. I'm paraphrasing. It's like, dude, you can't really have it both ways. You either did something or you didn't do something. If the allegations are false, what do you have to apologize to your wife for? Yeah, he's full of crap, obviously. But it's interesting to see how the Democrat Party, when you become a liability, when you become a negative, boy, they cut you loose in a heartbeat, and all the dogs come out, man.
Last year, this is what he said.
And I was a prosecutor in Oakland for 7 years, and it was very frustrating that many times it felt like the victims had none of the rights, and the bad guys had all of the rights.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it's really focus on like serious, violent, sexual. Those 3. If you like throw the book at those 3, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's exactly what we're talking about here. And then he also, just in November of 2025, said this in a warning to President Trump.
What I want to project to the Department of Justice, and the president in particular, is a Democratic majority is coming. And when that majority comes, there's going to be accountability. We will use the subpoena power. Get to know Jamie Raskin and Robert Garcia, the future chairs of the Judiciary and Oversight Committee, because I know they have it in them to call you to account, and the truth's going to come out. And
the truth is coming out on him. So the other side of this story is apparently some misappropriation of campaign funds and dollars for an Amanda Barbosa. And if you want to see the nanny, all you got to do is go to my X account, because she's there in all of her glory with drinks in her hand, a little tiny bikini on at a resort somewhere. Well, that's an incredible taking care of kids, a nanny. But he also paid over $200,000 apparently of campaign funds for babysitting services.
Right.
Okay? He was living with a billionaire until last night. This billionaire,
Stephen Klubeck.
He was living with this billionaire until last night, and this billionaire is about to marry in June a woman who's a honeypot girl, who goes in allegedly. She's a former penthouse pet. Will go to these rich guys in L.A. and form some sort of relationship with them and then rob them blind. And he's been betrothed to her. So he kicked Swalwell out last night and said, "I'm now a libertarian. You Democrats can screw off," or whatever.
I was just reading about that. That's interesting stuff, because it makes you wonder. Like, you go back to the Biden-Kamala thing, where a lot of money that a lot of people gave her just sort of went away. This guy donated apparently like $1 million to his campaign.
And he wants it back.
Yeah, I'd kind of like that back. If you guys knew about this, knew this was going on, I feel like I was kind of taken advantage of.
Now I have a little gift for you. Here is a political ad for his gubernatorial campaign featuring Eric Swalwell's wife, Mrs. Eric Swalwell.
Brittany Swalwell here. Women, we're in a fight for our lives. We can't just sit back and do nothing. Please don't be silent. We as women, we've got to fight for this.
We can't sit back and we can't be silent. Women are depending on us to elect him. Of course they are. All right, quick break. More Ware and Rima coming up. Our friends over at Apple Pest Control ready to take care of the bugs around your house. Have you noticed creepy, crawly kind of bugs? Have you noticed roaches or ants or fleas or anything like that around your house? Maybe you haven't seen them, but you know what? That doesn't mean they're not there. And in fact, any kind of bug that is bugging you needs to go away. And that's exactly what Apple Pest Control will do. They'll get rid of the bugs like nobody else can. They've been doing this now since 1984, the same old-fashioned way. Got a great service, right? You got great folks that will come to your home that will treat your home like it were their own, which means they're going to be very careful around your place and treat it with respect. And then, of course, Stan Goodson has never, ever, he's the owner, he's never asked for a contract. And he's not going to start now. They don't want contracts. They want to earn your business every time they're there. That's one of the things that drew me to Apple Pest Control over 20 years ago, was the fact that, they're not going to make me sign a contract on a long-term deal where they get my money and then I get shoddy service, which happens with some of the national companies. But Apple Pest Control, no, it's a handshake and it's a friendly reminder that we'll be back in a couple of months and we'll earn your business. No hidden charges ever from Apple Pest Control. $25 off your initial service just for mentioning Trey Ware when you give a call to Apple Pest Control at 210-695-8946. Sunny clouds and a chance for rain or even storms later on today with a high near 84. Right now it's 72 at KTSA.
Good morning. Heads up on 281. Getting reports of a rollover accident southbound 281 at Hildebrand. It's in the right lane as you stop and go from Bassey, so tack on at least an extra 15 minutes to your commute. Did clear the wreck at 281 southbound near Mulberry. Road work continues on 35 upper level southbound between I-10 to just before North Florida Street. We've got 2 left lanes closed. And on I-10 eastbound 37, that stall off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
The headlines the others miss. From Texas to the nation and around the world. Stay connected. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
Upgrade your backyard with the custom patio cover from Precision Windows and Doors. Call us at 210-596-6588. PrecisionWindowsSA.com.
When it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years and successfully represented thousands of injured Texans. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Let our team keep your home running comfortable and worry-free. Call on Mr. Electric for all your electrical needs. 210-248-2026. Or get a hold of us online at mrelectric.com and enter your zip code.
License number TECL 34221.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund money I get to keep for my family. Smart.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
What a life-changing experience it is when you go to Here in Texas. My story is a very simple one. I was born with hearing loss. My left ear basically had no hearing. My right ear had very high frequency loss. And when I went and saw Dr. Sally at Here in Texas, she discovered all of that, and she fitted me with hearing aids that have really changed my life. Now I hear my wife better than I ever have, my 2 granddaughters as well. I'm enjoying singing again and living my life, all because of Dr. Sally and the great team at Here in Texas. You know, they accept TRICARE, so if you're military dependent, they're ready to see you at Here in Texas, and they have this wonderful new subscription service. You know, technology changes so quickly these days, so when your hearing aids get out of date, you don't have to worry about buying a new pair because you've subscribed to their service at Here in Texas, ATAR. You're going to find some of the finest people anywhere, the latest, greatest technology, and you're going to hear things you've never heard before at Here in Texas. Log on today and mention Trey Ware. Here in TX.com.
Want a great way to boost your brand? Custom labels at Staples will help packages pop. Shipments stand out and takeout boxes really take off. Shop now through April 18th and save 30% on all custom labels. Staples, that was easy.
San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station. News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
And it's 8:21 Monday, April 13th. Ware and Rima, KTSA.
You know, we haven't talked about this recently, but I did hear Riccardi talking about this. I think it was either Thursday or Friday. In that you have the Texas State Board of Education giving preliminary well, this happened after I heard Jack talking about teaching the Bible in school, which here in Texas we're going to start doing, apparently. State Board of Education voted on this preliminary approval, gave it preliminary approval this past Friday. I believe it would be taught in social studies and history classes. You really can't make an argument for it because you take the fact that you and I are people of faith. We follow the Bible or we read the Bible. We've studied the Bible. Let's take that out of the equation here and just look at it as something to teach kids in school. You really cannot properly teach, especially Western civilization, to a young person without also teaching the impact of the Bible on, if you want to, I would say globally, but certainly on from a standpoint of the Western civilization. You really can't not teach the Bible if you're going to teach history about how all of these societies and cultures, including our own, came about. You can't make the same argument for any other book. You can't make it for the Upanishads. You can't make it for the Dhammapada. You can't make it for the Gita. You can't make it for the Analects of Confucius, but you can make it for the Christian Bible as a historic fact as far as defining culture, political systems, governments like our own, and just its impact on people in their daily lives in this part of the world. So the fact that we haven't been teaching it, I think it's some rudimentary way they were teaching the story of the prodigal son and stuff like that. But to actually teach the Bible, we haven't seen that for quite some time, and I think it's a good thing.
Is that the one you've been talking about, where they're going to start reading the scripture in the classroom? They're talking about, let's do this? Is that the one?
Yeah, they voted on Friday, I guess.
Yeah, they've gone through one step. They'll have 2 more.
In June, I
possibly
think.
No, by June.
Oh, by June.
The final reading is in June, and if it makes it past both, then that's going to happen.
How do you feel about that? I think it's a good thing.
It's an impossibility to teach a legitimate history of the United States or really really the world without having the Bible included. Now, look, the First Amendment is what's called the Establishment Clause of the Constitution, which says the government cannot establish an official state religion and compel you to either attend that religious service and or pay for it through your taxes, which is what the King of England was doing. And our founding fathers said, we're not going to do that. But to deny this being a country founded on Christian principles, you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, to deny the historic impact of it would, you'd be
the
talking
very
like a fool.
Founding of our country, the very groundwork of this nation, going back to the 1400s and coming all the way up to the Revolutionary War, and then beyond, the writing of the Constitution, the approval 1789, and everything that has happened since then. The very foundation were the Christian scriptures. And if you don't believe that, you are being intellectually dishonest with yourself and everybody around you. It's just a fact, just like water being wet and air going in and out of your lungs. It's a fact.
And if you take it back to when they argued against prayer in school, they used the Establishment Clause. They expanded it basically to, and we fought these battles on the air separately and together, where if you even have the appearance of a state-mandated religion, and that's where a lot of the political stuff comes about. It's a bad interpretation of what we're talking about as far as the Establishment Clause, in that it really is only about, here's the American church and you have to go to it or you're going to jail. That's really all that means. So I don't see any kind of violation as far as teaching it as a historic fact.
You hear people talk all the time about Thomas Jefferson's Bible and cut everything out of it, and they were all deists and this, that, and the other. If you look at the founding principles and guiding principles of this country, whether you read all the Federalist Papers or you just stick with the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, there is no way that you can sit there and be honest now, because you can lie to yourself and everybody else if you want to. But if you're going to be honest about it, you look at that and you say, those are Christian principles based on the Christian Bible, which at the beginning of this country, in all of the classrooms that little kiddos were going to, that was the only textbook.
It was the Bible.
You got it.
Yeah, my mom's era. She grew up during the Depression. She would tell you that. Again, it's really hard to argue against the historic impact of the Bible on the very history you would want to teach young kids in elementary and middle school, especially, and then into high school. So I think their argument's good. I think it's, I'm sure it's probably going to go through. I think, again, it's also part of this renaissance that we're talking about, where people are openly proclaiming their faith, their Christian faith. Christianity itself is kind of taking on a whole new prominence right now. And I think it slides right in there. That's good.
Like those who deny that the Ten Commandments are great moral principles that we should be teaching young people. So when you talk about, don't kill somebody, that's kind of a cool thing.
Don't lie, it's all pretty basic stuff, which our own laws are based on, those notions of, not trampling on somebody else's rights.
Right.
And arguably killing them is trampling on their rights in a pretty big way.
Well, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good moral code that you would probably want to teach your youth if you wanted your youth to be, somewhat successful with life. That's a pretty good thing to rely on. And yet people will argue against it on the Establishment Clause, even though the Ten Commandments do not establish any particular religion at all.
Well, again, that's the hitching point for these people, is you're not talking about an established church. You're not talking about a federal church that you have to attend. You're not talking about an actual theocracy. These people love throwing that word around, that we're becoming... Remember when Trump got all that support from the evangelicals, and so they had redefined Donald Trump as an evangelical, which he certainly is not. And they were screaming and yelling about, we're going to be a theocracy, and the evangelicals are going to take over the country. Well, they're so full of crap.
And
man.
One final comment on this is, if you look at the proof being in the pudding, as they say, our country leading up to the defining moment in 1963, when a lot of the biblical principles were removed from education in our country, we had a vast and incredible and quick change in the morality of this country and the prosperity of this country. That's when the decline of this country really began. And they knew it. They knew they couldn't kill 10 million babies a year if the Bible was being taught in school.
Well,
they knew it.
There was a lot of secular stuff as far as doing your own thing, and kind of the perspective changed on what's best for society, what's best for your neighborhood, what's best for the community, and what's best for you, man. Do whatever, makes you happy. And that's kind of where that secular notion was born, I would say, which gave rise to a lot of the counterculture stuff that we saw. But it seems like the pendulum is kind of swinging back in the opposite direction.
That'd be great.
Like we've been saying all day, the Christian conservatives are the cool kids now.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, more Ware and Rima coming up at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. If your house smells a little bit off, if it smells a little bit strange, Quarter Moon is here to deal with that. Could be your AC system, okay? At Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, they will create the Breathe Easy package for your home. It kicks the funk out of your system. Quarter Moon, they pull and they deep clean your blower motor, your blower wheel, your AC housing. They clean the coil. They disinfect the inside of your AC cabinet. In other words, they clean it up really, really well, and then they put one of these blue UV lights inside of it to zap the bacteria and the other nasty stuff that's in the cabinet there at your AC unit. The next thing you know, your home smells fresher and your AC is operating more efficiently, which is saving you money. Now, Quarter Moon's been at this for over 35 years around here, for just about that long. I've been on KTSA saying, hey, just call Quarter Moon. It's real simple. When you want the Breathe Easy package, it's only $6.99 from Quarter Moon, and you're going to breathe easy, and your house is going to smell better, and your system's going to operate more efficiently, which is going to save you money with Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Just call Quarter Moon at 210-651-5899.
It's just as friendly and a little cooler. Introducing nonstop flights to Toronto with Air Canada from San Antonio International Airport. See fares and start booking at aircanada.com.
If you really want to save money at your home and beautify your home at the same time, can I recommend to you Window World windows? Nancy and I put those in the warehouse about 4 years ago, and man, they are just amazing windows. Number one, they look incredible. I mean, I looked around before we bought the Window World windows, and I just wanted to see what was on the market and available to us out there. So I looked at various, the big national brands everybody was talking about and all those kinds of things. So I looked at all that and kept coming back to the Window World. My eye was drawn back to that. They come in any color and any style. They will customize the styles for you as well. In fact, that's really what they love to do, is customize the styles so it looks the way you want it to look in your home all the time. And then you get the best price guarantee. And that means nobody is going to undersell them when it comes to the price. And because they're locally and family owned, they're here. If you ever have a question or a concern about your Window World windows, hey, Martin, who is the owner, Martin Bamba and his family, they are here in San Antonio. Beautiful design center over on 410 between Broadway and Nacogdoches. Go in there, talk with them. They'll explain the whole Window World experience to you, or invite them out to your home for a free on-home quote. At Window World, 210-767-0995.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. The big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in San Antonio. Call 726-202-1300. Visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
A blockade of the Strait of Hormuz kicks in 30 minutes from now. KTSA News is watching that story closely. More than 50 Texas Democrats owe a few $100,000 after a political stunt last summer and a hill country rodeo and dance hall about to get a fresh start after last summer's deadly flood. Got details on that story and others on the way at 9 o'clock. KTSA News Time 8:34.
Good morning. We are working a few trouble spots as you head into your early morning commute. This report sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Still have that wreck at 281 southbound right around Mulberry. It's in the right lane, so a little bit of stop and go starting right around Hildebrand. On I-10 upper level, westbound before 35, that stalls off to the right shoulder, and another stall on the shoulder, 410 southbound at South WWY. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
A warm start to the week with mostly cloudy skies. It'll be humid and breezy with a thunderstorm this afternoon, the high of 84. Breezy and humid this evening. Warm tonight, the low 70 along the Riverwalk and 67 in the hill country. Breezy, warm, and humid with clouds and sun Tuesday, the high 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Got plenty of clouds and a temperature of 72 degrees right now at San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 107.1.
Okay, Anthropic, yeah. It's a big name in the AI world. Got a new one called Mythos.
Yeah.
It's too powerful for public consumption, even to be released to the public. Mythos can hack anything, any system within seconds.
Wow.
Causing a great deal of harm in the wrong hands, obviously. In fact, all the people who know AI and who know tech and all that stuff say we're simply not prepared for this. It is that strong. In fact, so strong that Anthropic called up their competitors and other people in the tech world like Apple Computing and so on, and even Jamie Dimon over at Goldman Sachs and the other big banks, and said, you guys need to see a preview of this. We need to, even their competitors, their AI competitors, they said to them, come look at what this does and what it is capable of doing. Because, of course, in the wrong hands, this could do it's the most powerful ever. It's been called a hacker super weapon. So we're talking about things like power grids and electrical grids and water systems and banking systems that could completely be shut down or confiscated, put in the wrong hands by this one AI system. It is that powerful, and nobody has a defense against it. It's that strong.
I got a question. If they know about it, how can we not find out who created it?
Well, Anthropic created it.
Did, yeah.
So then they're liable for everything. Medical records, any type of hacking, then that Anthropic should be liable for everything, right?
Well, I don't know about that, but I do know that they're out there trying to say, okay, this is the development. This is where we are in AI now. The development of AI is so strong and powerful at this point that we're looking at, we're looking at a disastrous situation if we don't get ahead of this. And we're allowing even our competitors to look at it to get ahead of it.
Well, was I reading that Anthropic was actually giving hell to the actual programmers, that they were having trouble with even talking to it behind, I don't understand. I'm not technical enough to understand, what situation, but they're interacting with Anthropic. These are people that made it. And apparently it was giving them pushback on certain ideas.
Well, and keep in mind, I won't say a million, that's, hyperbole, but there's a million different AIs that are out there. You've got everything from the Gemini to Claude to
But it
Venice,
just seems like I had read
but
about Anthropic that they had problems with it interiorly or on the, inside the company, inside the programming of it.
I don't know, but the biggest fear is that
fighting the programmers that developed it.
You cannot defend against what Mythos will do and what its capabilities are. So if it gets out there and it falls into the wrong hands, it is as they said, a hacking super weapon.
Right.
So if somebody, foreign country gets their hands on this, and they will, it's kind of crazy for us to think that they're going to be able to contain this thing, then everything is vulnerable. The lights that we're sitting under, the AC that we're sitting under right now.
Yes. Elon Musk said years ago, he's one of the guys, the architects of artificial intelligence. He's one of the reasons we have artificial intelligence is because of Elon Musk. And you and I talked about it. He said years ago, we need to put safeguards in before the big bad thing happens, because by the time the big bad thing happens, whatever that is, it'll be far too late to, in a sense, put the genie back in the bottle. So, an AI program that can hack into anything, yeah, that sounds like a really bad idea. But I don't know how we, at this point, how do you contain something like that?
I can't imagine that we're so dumb to think that it's not going to fall into somebody's hands, that it's not going to be released out there, that they're going to be able to contain it just within the government. And I'm not real sure I want the government to have that kind of power against the people. You know what I'm saying?
Well, sure, but
I don't trust them any more than I trust another government. So,
at the heart of the
bad idea.
At the heart of the AI discussion, because you're right. I mean, and this is where we are now. Imagine the systems we're going to see 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. It really is the paradigm of the Frankenstein monster. We really are creating a kind of life, a kind of consciousness that we're not ourselves going to be able to contain. This is about hacking. But there's all kinds of nasty stuff that AI could do if AI itself goes rogue, or one of these programs goes rogue. And apparently there's already been examples where it's tried to blackmail people. It has. AI has tried to blackmail people itself. I know I've read articles over the past year.
Oh, yeah. Does all the time.
I mean, it's weird crap. And, when you start thinking like God and start making life, or thinking you can control that, never works out well for human beings.
Well, Catholic nuns in New York State have been taking care of the dying people for over 100 years. They're called the Dominican Sisters of Hawthorne. Well, the state requires that the Catholics up there, and they have religious objection to this, treat homosexuals a certain way, and that they assign room assignments in these places where people are dying by gender ID.
Oh, of course.
So now, and they have separated them by gender up until now for 100 years. So now what they're doing is they are forcing this sisterhood to put men in women's rooms. And now, because their law in New York State is so stupid the way it's written, they're fining this sisterhood that's been around for over 100 years, taking care of dying people, transition to the next life. They're fining them up to $5,000 a day, and now they're talking about throwing the sisters in jail. I mean,
wow.
Some of this stuff the mind boggles when you think about how stupid these state laws are.
And that's New York State? Yeah. Well, it makes sense at the New York State level. They love this gender crap. The rest of us think it's ridiculous. I mean, these are nuns, right? That's what this is a sect of nuns, and you're going to force them to take non-binary nuns into their dorms, or
people,
just people in general.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because that makes sense. Well, again, I don't think the gender trip is going to win the day for the Democrats right now at any level, whether it's a state law or it's in a national contest coming up, on the ramp up to the midterms. A lot of Democrats, really just don't realize the gender trip is over, man. It really, really is.
Well,
and this just is another example of how ridiculous and insane it's gotten.
And the sisters are not going to be afraid of going to jail.
No, probably not.
If going to jail is a result of them, doing what they do, then they'll go to jail.
Well, they've dedicated their whole lives to this. It's not like a little thing to become a nun.
It's just ridiculous that Hochul and her crew are going to force these sisters into this type of situation. I mean, this is where we are in the country, right? And in places like New York, the stupidity of such a thing to tell these sisters, you will do it this way or you're going to go to jail.
Well, you are forcing them into the situation.
Meanwhile, in that very state, they are releasing rapists and murderers every day.
Sure.
They're going to lock up some sisters who hold the hands of dying AIDS patients, right? They're going to lock them up, but they're going to let the next murderer right back out on the street so he can go back and murder somebody.
We talk about it every day, whether it's in New York State or any number of blue states across the country and blue cities where they let these people out and they do horrible, horrible things. But man, let's get those silly nuns in line with current gender sensibility.
Yeah, maybe if we let the sisters use a hammer to attack people, they'd be fine. Yeah.
Let me tell you about my friends over at Alamo Water Softeners. Alamo Water Softeners is the company to make sure you have the best water quality in your home. Hard water, it's tough on your pipes. It's tough on your accessories around your home. I'm talking about your appliances. Everything that runs water through it, like your water heater, your dishwasher, your clothes washer, your refrigerator, everything that's got water running through it. If you're not softening that water and getting those hard water deposits out, that stuff's going to die, and it's going to cost you money, obviously, to replace it. Have you priced these refrigerators? Have you priced the dishwashers lately? You don't have to replace all those, and hard water damage is deadly to those appliances. And by the way, it also helps you feel better. Your skin is softer, your clothes keep their color longer, and they feel softer too when you're washing your clothes in Alamo Water Softeners water. I was their first customer in 2009. Why? Because they built them for our hard water. And that's the difference maker when it comes to Alamo Water Softeners. All the others out there, you know, they make them somewhere across the country and they ship them in here, and they're not for our hard water. Alamo is made for the hard water that we have here. Get a free water analysis just by logging onto their website, mention Trey Ware, and for a limited time, when you purchase a select water softener system from Alamo Water Softeners, you'll get a free reverse osmosis drinking water system on top of that as well at alamowatersofteners.com. Sun and clouds and a chance of rain or storms later today. 84 for the high, 72 now at KTSA.
Good morning. We are working a few trouble spots as you head into your early morning commute. This report sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Still have that wreck at 281 southbound right around Mulberry. It's in the right lane, so a little bit of stop and go starting right around Hildebrand. On I-10 upper level, westbound before 35, that stalls off to the right shoulder, and another stall on the shoulder, 410 southbound at South WWY. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
What a life-changing experience it is when you go to here in Texas. My story is a very simple one. I was born with hearing loss. My left ear basically had no hearing. My right ear had very high frequency loss. And when I went and saw Dr. Sally at Here in Texas, she discovered all of that, and she fitted me with hearing aids that have really changed my life. Now I hear my wife better than I ever have, my two granddaughters as well. I'm enjoying singing again and living my life, all because of Dr. Sally and the great team at Here in Texas. You know, they accept TRICARE, so if you're military dependent, they're ready to see you at Here in Texas, and they have this wonderful new subscription service. You know, technology changes so quickly these days, so when your hearing aids get out of date, you don't have to worry about buying a new pair because you've subscribed to their service at Here in Texas, ATAR. You're going to find some of the finest people anywhere, the latest, greatest technology, and you're going to hear things you've never heard before at Here in Texas. Log on today and mention Trey Ware, here in TX.com.
Energy-efficient windows from a local family-owned company. Call me, the window guy, at Precision Windows and Doors, 210-596-6588, or visit precisionwindowssa.com.
If your floors look worn, dated, or just not your style anymore, you can change that with one visit. I'm Richard Cavazos with Pride Floors and Construction. We are a family-operated business located right outside 1604 in Lock Hill, Soma. Most homeowners tell me they want cleaner, richer, natural-looking floors and beauty that lasts for generations. Popular styles like European oak, hardwood floors, and luxury vinyl planks continue to be top picks. So when you walk through our showroom, you can explore carpet, hardwood, tile, and luxury vinyl plank in every style. You will see textures, colors, and finishes that help you picture the space you want. We make it easy to visualize your space with beautiful new floors. My team gives you clear guidance, honest answers, and professional installation combined with quality products. You will get a project you can trust and floors that make your home feel new again. Our lifetime installation warranty is part of that promise. Visit our family showroom at 1604 Lock Hill, Soma. At Pride Floors, we take pride in our floors so you can take pride in your home. I'm Richard Cavazos, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Well, it's done, and we love it. Hey, Trey Ware here for Texas Rhino Shield, and they have completed the project at the warehouse, and we absolutely love it. You know, Anthony came out. He spent several hours with us explaining the entire process, looking at our home, making all the measurements, and then talking about a few repair things that they needed to do. And then their guys came out, and man, when they hit it, they were great. The first thing they did was they gave the whole home a bath. They cleaned it up really well, did a few minor carpentry repairs, and then applied the Texas Rhino Shield. We love the color
wear. We love the contrast with the brick. We love everything about the Rhino Shield. You know what's the best part? It's guaranteed for 25 years. I won't ever have to do anything as far as paint is concerned to the warehouse again. I love that about Texas Rhino Shield. Right now, you can take $2,500 off when you mention Trey Ware when you log on to TexasRhinoShield.com. You're going to love the way your home looks and feels and is protected with Texas Rhino Shield at TexasRhinoShield.com.
Rhino Shield.
It's not paint.
Hi, this is Bob Webster. Don't go through another dry period without a guaranteed water source. Learn about rainwater from my friends at Tanks A Lot in Bernie. Call them at 830-331-7330. Tanks A Lot.
Online at TanksALotTX.com.
Not a lot of things in this world are free, especially a world with high inflation. But when it comes to financial education, I have something free for you. It's the Creating Richer Lives podcast. I'm Carl Eggers, your host. Find the podcast each week at creatingricherlives.com or on all major podcasting platforms.
A bathroom remodel is not just about looks, it's about comfort, safety, and function too. Safe Showers and Bathwise have joined forces with New Bath Today to bring you more, including showers, tubs, flooring, and vanities. Get $1,500 off your new shower at newbathtoday.com.
Guests of Ware and Rima appear via the Stevens Roofing Newsmaker Hotline.
And it's 8:49 with Ware and Rima, KTSA.
I'll revisit the Sarah Hernandez story out of Minneapolis. You have kind of an ongoing anti-ICE protest outside this federal building in Minneapolis. It's called the Whipple Building. And Savannah Hernandez is a Turning Point USA reporter. Obviously, she's a Hispanic woman, Latina woman, and she's there to get B-roll. She's not there to interview anybody. She's just stopping by to get some footage of the protest. And they attack her. And a lot of us saw the video over the weekend. Now, this family is involved, the Ostrushkos, who themselves are known for being pretty not violent, I was going to say passionate, shall we say, anti-ICE protesters. They're street theater goobs is what they are. And they surround this woman and they attack her. I mean, she's getting smacked in the face. It starts with the whistle blowing in her face, and then they start, pushing her around. He shoves her to the ground at one point in the video. Now, I hope you and I had talked about this earlier. I hope she presses charges. But you look at something like that, and you ask yourself, in what other situation could a bunch of white people physically assault a Hispanic person, let alone a Hispanic woman, and not be called horrible racists or not be called out on it? But as long as it's the right Hispanic woman you're shoving around, as long as it's somebody associated with those evil Nazi Charlie Kirk people, it's okay for a white guy, a big white guy, by the way, to shove a woman to the ground because he didn't have any. You could see in the video, he didn't have any moral issues with what he did. None of them had this. These people who were attacking her obviously had no moral qualms about doing it. But, we kind of do this reversal game all the time. What other situation could you see a bunch of white people shoving around a Hispanic woman or a black woman, and it wouldn't be a huge news story and the outrage would be all around you? But as long as it's a Turning Point USA Hispanic woman, it's okay, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's all right to slap her around and shove her to the ground and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go on more. CBS hasn't said a word.
Right.
PBS hasn't said a word. CNN hasn't said a word.
Nope.
ABC certainly hasn't said a word. M. Snow has not said a word about it. 60 Minutes was on last night. They didn't cover anything. The New York Times has yet to write anything about it. The Washington Post hasn't written anything about it.
Nope.
In fact, if Elon Musk had not have bought X, you wouldn't know that this happened. You would not have known that this happened. This would have been covered up by the mainstream media, and it is white on brown crime. They did attack her. This was a violent attack. This man shoved her to the ground. He's a big old fat dude.
He is. He's a lot bigger than she is.
He's a big fat dude, and he went over and he shoved her, hit her, and knocked her to the ground. They were apparently all four of them were arrested,
right?
Because the girl's boyfriend, he got the worst end of the arrest, apparently, I'm told. But the guy's wife and the guy's daughter, the other daughter, Desiree, she completely says, I want nothing to do with these people. They're nut jobs.
Good for her.
She won't have anything to do with her own family. But this is what they do. You called them street theater goobs, and they are, but they're also violent. And they should not have gotten out of jail. This is the very kind of thing where we need to arrest these people and hold these people accountable for this kind of thing so it stops, so it won't happen again.
Well, again, when it comes to our current media and political types, as long as you're shoving around the right person, okay, it doesn't matter. Then it magically doesn't matter what your skin color is, what their skin color is. In fact, if you're a white pro-Democrat, anti-ICE thug, apparently you can shove around anybody you want to, and nobody's going to call you a racist.
Correct.
And nobody's going to call you a homophobe, or nobody's going to call you a white supremacist or anything like that, as long as the person you're abusing is, from one of the right groups that we need to hate, and we feel justified in our hatred.
That's the only thing that matters.
That's all that matters.
That's the only thing that matters is, are they on the right side of the issue?
Yeah.
And if they're on the right side of the issue as far as the media is concerned, then you can literally get away with murder, and we've seen them do it.
We have, and she's not the first female journalist to get shoved around by these people.
Happens
Remember
all the
about a
time.
month ago, we were dealing with another bit of video where you had a woman, it was at nighttime, I think it was in Minneapolis as well, and she was there just trying to cover some protests. Same thing happened. They attacked her. And you watch this stuff, and you see the hatred just gleaming in their eyes as they lay hands on another human being. These people are so whipped up in a frenzy, they're almost feral.
Well, the daughter cut a video when she left the scene. I won't play it because it's every other word's the F word.
Right.
But she said, effing piece of S turning point B. B word. This is the kind
Impressive.
of person. This is the kind of person that those two people raised.
Right.
Okay? What productive thing is she ever going to do for society or for her family or for anybody else? Absolutely nothing. They raised an out-of-control, bat stuff, crazy
But that's what
nut
they
job.
are, yeah.
Correct.
That's exactly what they are.
That's what they raised. And the only thing you can do with people like that is hold them to personal responsibility, which means lock them up.
Well, I just, this frothy, buggy-eyed hatred that you see in these people's faces. And universally, when somebody goes up to them and actually does engage them and ask them why they're so filled with hatred, what they're so upset about, they rarely can even tell you
Well, it's
that.
Donald Trump.
Well, it's
Donald
it's
Trump.
like some general Donald Trump
It goes back to
anti-ICE
him
stuff.
eventually.
Yeah,
It goes
but
back to Donald Trump.
But you can't get them to break down the finer points of policy.
If you would not have elected that president, if you would have elected that
Right.
orange guy, we wouldn't be here today, and that's why I'm doing it. Blah, 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 blah.
It's the
simple
culture
stuff.
of outrage, though. It's just it's fun to hate people.
But back to your original point about the media and nobody saying anything, you're not surprised.
No, I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah.
But it does when you do see the video and you kind of accept that that's a bunch of white people shoving around a Hispanic woman. In what other situation would the media be fine with that?
There's not one.
There isn't. We see this all the time when somebody, in the reverse, when you see a person of color who attacks somebody. We talk about Irina Zarutska all the time, and magically, suddenly, the skin color doesn't matter in situations like that.
That guy should not be alive.
Oh, I agree. But you see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
If it's somebody, if the perpetrator is a person of color, you don't hear about the skin color. These people, you're not going to hear that this is white people beating up a Hispanic woman.
No, in many cases, like on CNN, they'll lie about the skin color.
Good point. They will lie about it. They'll absolutely lie
about it.
They
will flip it. You know, we've caught Jake Tapper, I can't tell you how many times, saying, a white guy did this, and it turned out just a guy's black as night.
Yeah, yeah.
So Savannah Hernandez just posted this. She said, thank you, everybody who's reached out to check on me today. My legs are straight. My neck and back are sore. But I'm safe. I'm doing okay. Just horrified that pockets of America are this dangerous and uncivilized. Just so you'll know, Savannah, not all Americans are that way. Most Americans are pretty decent people. This is a group of left-wing activists. Many of them are paid. All of them have TDS. And, yes, they are uncivilized. What you saw on that video is complete barbarianism. There's no other way to look at it.
They're essentially the brown shirts of the American Democrat Party and of the progressive movement
Of America.
in this country.
Yeah.
They basically are. They're thugs you can just point in any direction.
Sure. More Ware and Rima coming up. KTSA.
Hey, it's Sean. If you want to prevent an AC breakdown at your home, start with the $89 AC tune-up from John Wayne. This tune-up includes a full 35-point inspection to keep your AC running factory fresh. Now, they don't just glance at it. They go through the system step by step. John Wayne will remove the top of your condenser fan to clean the inside of your unit properly from the inside out. That deep cleaning helps remove debris that can rust out the base of your unit. A tune-up can also help your system run better, longer, and more reliably when the heat hits. And if your system is older and you're ready for an upgrade, ask about their new AC system options. John Wayne has a cooling coupon for up to $3,000 off new qualifying AC systems. See their current offers online at johnwayne.com. Call my friends at John Wayne or book an appointment online and get it knocked out before the next heat wave. Call them up today, 210-293-6700, or look them up online at johnwayne.com.
I love my Connecticut water softener. Dave here, and yes, I own a Connecticut. Other water softeners just can't measure up. So if your old unit keeps breaking, leaking, or burning through salt, stop paying for frustration. A Connecticut doesn't run on electricity. It powers itself using your water flow and only cleans itself when needed, not on a timer. And Connecticut backs its efficiency claims with independent testing through the Water Quality Association. Connecticut protects your plumbing and appliances. It helps dishes and fixtures stay cleaner and leaves your skin and hair feeling better. And right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. For clean, pure water 24/7, call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE, and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
This is San Antonio's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 9 o'clock, KTSA San Antonio. I'm Christian Blood. A blockade on all Iranian ports is now going into effect. President Trump ordered the maneuver after failed peace talks with Iran over the weekend. And as you might expect, some of America's so-called allies aren't going to be taking part.
I'm Vicky Barker in London, just in case Donald Trump was wondering.
We're not supporting the blockade.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer telling BBC Radio he opposes any measures which keep the Strait of Hormuz closed to navigation.
That means that oil and gas is not getting to market. That means the price is going up. That means everybody listening to this is facing higher energy bills.
Trump had already castigated Starmer for his refusal to join the Iran offensive. This latest act of defiance could make for some awkward silences when King Charles visits the U.S. later this month.
That's correspondent Vicky Barber. Dozens of Texas Democrats now being ordered to pay back hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines. KTSA's Stacey Keene tells us why.
The Dems racked up the fines and fees when they bolted Texas to break quorum on a vote that they were going to lose one way or the other. They ran to the so-called blue states like Illinois and California, and in doing so, they held up the GOP from passing new congressional maps, and now the Texas House Administration Committee wants them to pay up. The total owed by the lawmakers is over $420,000. Most of the 52 Democrats owe about $8,400 each. Stacey Keene, KTSA News.
A Michigan woman still missing, and we're about to learn if her husband is going to be facing charges. Lynette Hooker went missing in the Bahamas. But now there's new reports saying her marriage with Brian wasn't exactly paradise.
Social media videos and photos posted by Lynette and Brian Hooker in 2024 show the couple happily living and sailing together. But just weeks earlier, Lynette told a friend their marriage was over in messages obtained exclusively by CBS News. In late 2024, Lynette told Marnie Stevenson, a fellow boater, "I guess it was just too much closeness. We decided to call it quits." When pressed if the two could reconcile, Lynette told her friend, "Not this time."
It's correspondent Christian Benavidez. A historic Hill Country dance hall damaged by last summer's flash floods is reopening with a benefit concert to help the area recover. Kreider's Rodeo and Dance Hall in Hunt was shut down after the Guadalupe River jumped out of its banks on the 4th of July July weekend. On May 17th, country star Gary Nunn will appear at a concert at the venue, and that'll serve as a fundraiser for an effort to replant tens of thousands of trees along the riverbank. The event is scheduled for noon to 5 p.m. KTSA News Time is now 9:03.
Good morning. We are working a few trouble spots as you head into your early morning commute. This report sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Still have that wreck at 281 southbound right around Mulberry. It's in the right lane, so a little bit of stop and go starting right around Hildebrand. On I-10 upper level, westbound before 35, that stalls off to the right shoulder, and another stall on the shoulder, 410 southbound at South WWY. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Might want to take an umbrella just in case today. It'll be mostly cloudy and humid. Breezy this afternoon with a thunderstorm, a high 84. Breezy and humid this evening, cloudy and warm tonight. The low just 70 along the Riverwalk and 67 in the Hill Country. Breezy, warm and humid again Tuesday with a high of 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Right now, 74 degrees. Still cloudy. San Antonio's severe weather station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
News Talk 550 KTSA.
Well, of course, some of the talk this morning is about Eric Swalwell.
Ugh.
And Mr. Ensign over on CNN is now looking at his chances of becoming governor.
Things changed really quickly, and it really left Eric Swalwell with no choice in terms of dropping out of the race. I mean, just take a look at the Kalshi prediction market. Chance that Swalwell wins the California governorship. You go back to the beginning of the month, look at this. It was about a 3-5. He was the clear favorite at this point to be the next California governor. But by Friday, his chances were already adios amigos, goodbye, basically. He was down to 2%. He saw the writing on the wall. And then, of course, now we're at a 0% chance as he has suspended his campaign. But Eric Swalwell dropped out of this race because, simply put, there was no path forward for him to be the next California governor.
Well, and that was it's a media creation. We'll get into that in just a second. Here they are on Real America's Voice this morning.
Eric Swalwell and the possibility of Republicans getting a bit of a windfall leading up to November. Eric Swalwell's political career is a bit on shaky ground. It's not because of California earthquakes, rather a couple of allegations against him that have been, kind of derailing his trip towards the governorship. Of course, Democrats in that particular state also kind of pushing back against him. He is bowing out after being accused by at least 4 women of
Okay, just so we understand, just like John Nolte and Breitbart.com pointed out, not that Eric didn't deserve it, because he deserves all of this and more, okay? But this was silent for years. They all knew about it for years. They were all in on it for years. They covered it up as long as he was a good foot soldier. But in this race for governor in California, he has become expendable. Why? Because they had 3 Democrats that were running, Tom Steyer, Katie Porter, who, by the way, she also has some allegations from her husband of her beating her husband. So that could come out any minute now. Watch for that to happen. And Eric Swalwell, they were splitting the Democrat vote over there. In California, they take the top 2 who finish in the primary, and it doesn't matter which party. They don't have to have one Democrat and one Republican as we do here. You can take 2 Republicans, and that's what was going to happen. So the media, as Nolte points out, the media said, we can't have that. We can't have not a choice. You have to have a Democrat. We can't have a Republican win. That's what's going to happen. So here comes the story. They start, they come up with the girls, the 4 of them. Here I am doing my Kamala. I believe you, honey. I believe you, honey. I believe you, honey. I believe you, honey. Especially when you see the video of him on the bed grabbing that one and sticking his tongue down her throat.
Wish I could unsee it.
But here's another one. And what she claims here, to me, communicates rape with a capital R.
Decided to ask him to meet me for a drink. And I did this because I was so far removed from what had happened in 2019. I felt safe because I was established. I had a partner. I felt more secure that I could have a strictly professional relationship with this person. After that bar closed, we went to another. I went to the bathroom, and I don't remember anything after that.
You don't remember anything?
I remember the next day, I can see.
She went to the bathroom and doesn't remember anything after that. How
It'd be
many times
interesting-
have we heard about girls going to the bathroom and they
Right.
come back and they consume a drink that's been drugged?
It'd be interesting to know. I know she got tested for pregnancy and,
Uh-huh.
and disease. If they did a toxicology
Uh-huh.
on her
Mm.
for drugs,
Which they
right.
which they did find she had been violated.
They did. They found that, yeah.
That
but
evening of him on top of me pushing him off, him grabbing me, it was a lot more aggressive. It was aggressive.
Did you say no?
Yes, I said no. In my flash that I can recall, I was pushing him off of me saying no.
And what did he do?
He didn't stop.
He didn't stop. And you woke up the next morning.
I woke up the next morning naked, alone in his hotel room. I, for a moment, didn't even know I was in his hotel room. That's how intoxicated I was. And I called my mom, the only person I could think that could help me.
And we were able to corroborate that by speaking with friends and family she confided in, reviewing photos and screenshots of contemporaneous text messages. And we also reviewed a message from her medical provider the week after she received the pregnancy and STD tests, calling her a, quote, survivor.
She's a survivor of sexual assault, according to the medical doctors who looked at her.
Well, and Elaine's point's good. I mean, if they had done a tox screen, they would have been able to see if she'd been slipped something, a roofie or something. But even if she's just drunk, it's still rape.
Of course it is.
She can't consent if she's had alcohol.
Of course not. And so that's, I said earlier this morning, I don't hear anything from the left or anybody saying, oh, well, she put herself into this, they always blame the victim.
Well, yes.
And no, and no. The man clearly, in my view, and he's innocent until proven guilty, allegedly, that he's clearly been participating in this kind of behavior as far as I can tell. And a criminal investigation into the rape allegations needs to be launched. He's already under investigation in Manhattan for things such as immigration issues, because apparently he was paying an illegal alien under the table with campaign money, and that also is bringing in some campaign finance allegations and investigations that are underway as well. So obviously he needs to be removed from Congress immediately, obviously. It should have been a long time ago.
And to Nolte's point, there's a whole lot of people that gave this guy a pass until he became a liability in the gubernatorial race in California. That's who they are. As long as you're, a benefit, they don't give a crap what you do, as long as you continue to be a benefit. So there's a whole bunch of additional people, who also made moral choices to cover this crap up, if it's in fact true and had been going on for a long time and is such an open secret as we're hearing.
We went through the whole Me Too thing. We went through a time where they were telling, the Brett Kavanaugh deal.
Oh, yeah.
We went through the E. Jean Carroll situation with Donald Trump. We went through the grab them by the you-know-what. We went through everything, and the Democrats were willing to push all of that stuff out there to make hay about that. Jake Tapper talked about Donald Trump and E. Jean Carroll. Stephanopoulos did on his program. All these guys were willing to push this, and they knew what Swalwell was doing the entire time.
The whole Me Too movement was a farce, man. It really was. I mean, these were the people who were screaming the loudest, always believe the victims.
I'm just pointing out once again, you cannot trust the American media. If it serves their goal and their purposes, like this, okay? The only reason they're talking about this is because they were going to lose the California governor race. That's the only reason they are bringing this up.
And again, if this is true, this has been going on for a long time, and a whole lot of people knew about it, man.
Including people who come on your TV screen every day and will bash Donald Trump and will bash this person, will bash Tony Gonzalez and everybody else. But we're willing to cover up for Eric Swalwell because of the side that he was on. It's much like last hour we were talking about the family that beat up the reporter. As long as they're on the right side, they can beat the hell out of you. They don't care.
Sure. It is kind of, you brought up Tony Gonzalez. It is interesting, though, how guys like this, and they get to a certain level of prominence. And again, we don't know if it's true or not. This is all alleged about Swalwell. But if it's true, you there has to be an extreme arrogance that travels along with that you feel you can live that way over and over again and do all kinds of awful stuff, and you're going to be protected, and nothing bad's ever going to happen to you. I mean, I point my finger at a guy like Bill Clinton.
In the eyes of the law, I'll give him the innocent till proven guilty. Oh, sure. But I've seen the video of him on the bed grabbing the girl and sticking his tongue in her mouth. Okay,
there's like another dude on the bed with him. It's really icky.
And I have and somebody's holding a camera. I have no doubt in my mind at that point that he's capable of doing what this girl describes.
Well, it's interesting how guys like that figure they're just never going to get caught, man.
Well,
but then again, they're protected.
Well, that's right, because they're on the left in this country and they are in a prominent position. All he is, in my view, is indicative of many, many others that are there in that culture that are guilty of doing the exact same thing. That's why, and Jimmy brought it up earlier, but we've talked about it 10 million times on this show. They created their own account to pay these women off, to buy their way out of it using our money. And until that ends, until we stop that and turn that money river off, these guys are going to continue to do these kinds of things that Eric Swalwell is accused, and I'll say accused right now, accused of doing.
You just wonder how many people are involved in this sort of thing, in this kind of behavior inside our government.
But the reason it's going on, I just repeat it again, read Nick Nolte, read John Nolte's column in Breitbart.com this weekend. The Strait of Hormuz is closed as of 15 minutes ago, and you can look at marine travel, and there's nothing going through there. More Ware and Rima coming up, KTSA. AccuWeather, sun and clouds today with a chance of rain or storms later with a high near 84. Right now, 71 and cloudy at KTSA.
Good morning. Heads up on 281. Getting reports of a rollover accident southbound 281 at Hildebrand. It's in the right lane as you stop and go from Bassey, so tack on at least an extra 15 minutes to your commute. Did clear the wreck at 281 southbound near Mulberry. Road work continues on 35 upper level southbound between I-10 to just before North Florida Street. We've got 2 left lanes closed. And on I-10 eastbound 37, that stall off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Local roots, national focus, global perspective. Stay connected. News Talk 550, KTSA, and FM 1071.
I've actually got to call my buddy Dr. Mark Havercorn up this week. I have a tooth that kind of chipped away, lost a piece of my tooth in my jaw, upper jaw. And so I'm going to be calling him this week. I'll let you know how that goes. But if you're somebody who, let's say, needs your wisdom teeth out, or maybe you have somebody in your family who needs your wisdom teeth out, this is a great time to schedule it at River City Oral Surgery. Extracting 4 wisdom teeth is only $1,500. In fact, whatever procedure you're looking at River City Oral Surgery, you can go on the website and find exactly what you're going to pay. All the pricing is published on the website, rivercityoms.com. And again, if you're looking to get 4 wisdom teeth extracted, it's $1,500. That's a bundled price. That means that includes the exam, the x-ray, the sedation, all the post-op stuff. There's no surprises with my buddy Dr. Mark Havercorn at River City Oral Surgery. You also need a referral, so call them up and make that appointment today, 210-778-0002. Or again, look them up online at rivercityoms.com.
Energy-efficient windows built to last. Call Precision Windows and Doors at 210-596-6588. PrecisionWindowsSA.com.
Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. Call Connecticut and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Land Story Law Firm. Located right here in San Antonio. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 726-202-1300, or visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STATION25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
My name's Bob. I love working on my ranch, but I didn't like going to the doctor and feeling bad. My lower back pain and joint pain was always hurting, and I just couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. Taking care of my ranch is demanding work, and I didn't want to just grow old and give it up. I heard of Dr. Torres and the Institute of Functional Health and decided to make a call and get an appointment. It was the best decision I ever made. Dr. Torres helped me understand why I was in pain. He understood my situation, did a thorough evaluation, and changed my life. I'm now 27 pounds lighter. I have no pain. I have more than enough energy to do the work on my ranch. I feel younger, healthier. I'm glad I met Dr. Torres, who helped me take control of my life.
Call Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health for a free consultation. 468-1891. That's 468-1891. The Institute for Functional Health. 468-1891.
Hey, this is Scott Robbins, and you're listening to News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071. Stay connected.
By the way, it's 9:20 at KTSA. Just tossing this in here real quick. Tulsi just released some new documents concerning the impeachment of President Trump.
Oh, really?
During his first administration.
Right.
And the coordination that all went into it, including one Joseph Robinette Biden and Adam Schiff and, of course, Alexander Vindman, the whistleblower, all the others that were involved in basically a fake impeachment to try to get Donald Trump out of office. Jayapal just said a couple of minutes ago that the Democrats have worked out a plan to supersede or go around the 25th Amendment. They will do whatever is necessary at this point to remove Donald Trump from office this time.
Oh, I believe it.
That's what
I
she said.
absolutely believe it.
They have a plan to get him out of office now, not wait until they're in power. So we'll see.
Well, you're hearing a lot about the 25th Amendment over the past week or so. I want to bring up somebody who I normally have a great deal of admiration for, and I kind of admire a post he put out there. You know, we talk a lot. We were just talking about Savannah Hernandez, who was a TPUSA reporter who got shoved around by a bunch of white people, attacked, assaulted in Minneapolis over the weekend. And skin color really kind of does determine everything in our culture. And one of the other stories that you really didn't hear a lot about were the attacks against Christians in northern Nigeria around not only Good Friday, but then Easter. We had about 20. The official count now, obviously, is probably a lot higher, is 26 people killed in 3 separate Easter attacks, again, in this Christian area of northern Nigeria. And John Cleese, who... yeah, a lot of things I don't agree with. He's a very liberal guy. He's also one of the greatest comedic minds and performers that the last century produced. I mean, very funny man, brilliant guy. And he posted on X over the weekend. It looks rather as though Black lives don't matter. Also, writing about it would damage the image of the murderers who killed these poor people. Now, one thing you can also say about John Cleese is he has talked a lot over what you and I have talked about on this show and how the UK has lost its identity in regards to also having an open border, welcoming a lot of Islamic migrants into the UK. The mayor of London is an Islamic kind of a guy like Mandami here. And Cleese has talked at great length here and there about how the UK is losing its identity in much the way we ran the risk of losing our identity.
They're not losing it; they have lost it.
They have lost it.
It's a Muslim country.
Right. So anyway, I just thought I thought it was interesting because nobody talked about Nigeria. Did you? We didn't. I mean, you and I knew about it, but it wasn't a story that was widely covered at all because they would have been. Black Christians being slaughtered.
We've talked about it a few times, and the thing about it is, yes, it's black Christians, and that's the wrong thing to try to defend. You don't want to defend black Christians.
Right. Well, absolutely. Well, not Christians in general.
Well, yeah.
But certainly not black Christians. Again, it kind of rubs up against the official narrative. So I thought it was interesting that John Cleese put that out there. But it's just yet another example where, for the progressive left, whether they're full-on socialists or communists or whomever they may be, Islamic radicals. My God, skin color determines everything.
Remember, in Palestine, we were hearing so much about genocide. The Jews are committing genocide, which was not true. Patently false, blatant lie. It was not true. There was no genocide going on. This is an actual genocide.
Absolutely,
it's an actual genocide, and nobody is saying a word. How come 60 Minutes hadn't loaded up an airplane full of equipment and flown over there and did a story
because
on
this genocide's okay because it has to do with those judgy Christian types.
So ABC, they were all over the genocide that Israel was performing.
Allegedly happened, which didn't really occur.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but they put it out there.
Sure.
Snuffleupagus and the rest of them, there's a genocide. There's a genocide. Every time you turned on CNN, genocide going on in Palestine. This is an actual, real-life genocide. Not one report.
You're not hearing anything. You got to hear about it from freaking John Cleese, of all people. You got to hear about it from Monty Python.
Are you telling me NPR is not covering this?
No, they're not. I know. It sounds strange.
I got to go home.
But again, that's what makes these people so freaking horrible, okay? People are being erased in Nigeria. Christians are being erased all around the world, predominantly in a lot of these countries, and you don't hear anything about it. But you and I, Trey, right now are living in an evangelical theocracy. Mm-hmm. And those evil Jews, Israel, they're also a theocracy, and they're genocidal. Again, if you go with the Riccardi paradigm that most people are pretty low info and most people get their information about their, worldview from very limited sources, you may not know about Savannah Hernandez. You may not know at all about Nigeria. There's all kinds of stuff you wouldn't know about if you're just going to the standard sources of information.
That's why the Democrats and the left hate Elon Musk as much as they do. Because with his $44 billion purchase of Twitter, which is now X, that changed all of that. The entire dynamic of what you know and what you don't know and what you're told and not told, more importantly, is totally changed because of X. You have these guys like Nick who walk around in hoodies now with cameras, and they're Savannah Hernandez. Okay, there's another prime example. She's covering these riots that are continuing, that are bought and paid for by Neville Singman and his wife with Code Pink. She's covering these things. You would not know them if Elon did not buy Twitter. You wouldn't know anything was going on.
And it's, our media actually closer resembles the propaganda wing of any given fascist state on this planet that's ever existed. That's exactly what they are. They're a propagandist army.
I've been saying forever. You can go back to Walter Cronkite. He was a propagandist. They are paid actors and actresses. That's all they are. They're not journalists, okay? They're not people who are trying to deliver the unbiased truth. That's not who these people are. They have a specific left-wing agenda that is bought and paid for by people like Soros and Neville Singman and the others who are pushing this information out there. That's who they are.
Well, it's sure, and they always have been to a greater or lesser extent, but in Cronkite's era, a lot of it was contextual. It's what you don't report. Now they're abjectly lying when they report.
Well, they did
now
back then, too.
I'm not saying they didn't lie back then. What I'm saying is that now it's full-on bull crap. Like they will actually go in front of cameras and say something that they know is not true at all. And I think there is, and especially when you have as many options as you have today, the fact that so many people are choosing to lie their asses off and still call them journalists is amazing to me.
Rod Blagojevich just put this up. Eric Swalwell is now facing an expulsion vote in the House because of the sexual misconduct accusations against him. There have been 268 settlements for workplace disputes, including sexual misconduct. $17 million.
Good God.
In taxpayer money.
Did he run out the slush fund? Is it empty now?
No, that's huge. In March of 2026, the House voted to cover up the names of members paying to settle sexual misconduct claims. Why are the names of those members being covered up? Exactly. Why?
Wow, man. That's a lot.
$17 million, Swalwell alone.
Swalwell alone. Boy, he is a hobbyist, allegedly.
A lot of money. New branch of Amegy Bank at Bitters and 281. They are your bank for small business loans. That's where you need to turn, to Amegy Bank. They're always there, ready to deal for your family, ready to work for your family. Best bank in Texas for SBA loans, Small Business Administration loans, is Amegy Bank, and that's proven time and time again. Why? Well, number one, they focus on small business. They focus on family businesses and things of that nature. But number two, they treat people so well. They make the process of getting your SBA loans so seamless, so easy, so understandable that if you don't know anything about it, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just come on into Amegy Bank or go online to AmegyBank.com, and they take it from there. And I know this personally because I've been doing personal business and family business with Amegy now for 15 years. And Nancy and I just had a conversation over the weekend. We're going to be expanding our business with Amegy the remainder of this year. And so I look forward to that relationship because it's just a tremendous relationship. Again, they make it very easy. If you have a small business or if you have a family-run business or even for your family's private business, whether it's, education for your child or mortgage loans or whatever, Amegy is your go-to in the state of Texas. Amegy NA, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Right now, with the purchase of a Connecticut, you receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. Call Connecticut and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
When it comes to protesting your property taxes, it can be a royal pain and what to have to go do that, right? And it's time and time again, people leave money on the table because they don't protest their home value. And you probably got it. We got ours in the mail last week, as a matter of fact. And so if you're facing the same thing, May 15th is the deadline for most counties to file your protest. So now you don't have to worry about it anymore. In fact, you don't have to do anything but take 3 minutes out of your day. If you have an extra 3 minutes today, I'm going to make it so easy on you with ownwell.com. That's how long it takes to sign up, and that's all you do. You see, they put the protest together, and they work with the county to reduce your property taxes. And if they don't get your property taxes reduced, you don't owe them anything at all. They have almost a 90% success rate in lowering the property taxes for people just like you and me, saving thousands of dollars on your property tax bill. I just love what they're doing at Ownwell because, they go fight the battle for you. You don't have to do it anymore. Again, May 15th, that's the big date for most counties. So log on today. Takes about 3 minutes out of your day to get this done. Ownwell.com. Mention Trey Ware when you log on and find out how much they could save you on your property taxes at ownwell.com.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com
Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
A bathroom remodel is not just about looks. It's about comfort, safety, and function, too. Trey Ware here with Safe Showers and Bathwise. They have now joined forces with New Bath Today to bring you more. They're the same trusted people, same great service, and now a whole lot more for you and your new bathroom remodel. New Bath Today still offers beautiful new showers, tub-to-shower conversions, walk-in tubs, and safety upgrades, but now they've expanded to include more complete bathroom remodeling, including toilets, flooring, vanities, and more. So whether you want a safer shower or a total bathroom refresh, I recommend you get in touch with New Bath Today. They can help you create a bathroom that looks better, feels better, and works better for your life. You get quality products, expert installation, and a smoother experience from start to finish. And right now, get $1,500 off your new shower plus low monthly payments. Get your free quote today at newbathtoday.com. New Bath Today, the same trusted team now with more for your bathroom. newbathtoday.com.
Well, it's done, and we love it. Hey, Trey Ware here for Texas Rhino Shield, and they have completed the project at the warehouse, and we absolutely love it. You know, Anthony came out. He spent several hours with us explaining the entire process, looking at our home, making all the measurements, and then talking about a few repair things that they needed to do. And then their guys came out, and man, when they hit it, they were great. The first thing they did was they gave the whole home a bath. They cleaned it up really well, did a few minor carpentry repairs, and then applied the Texas Rhino Shield. We love the color. We love the contrast with the brick. We love everything about the Rhino Shield. And you know what's the best part? It's guaranteed for 25 years. I won't ever have to do anything as far as paint is concerned to the warehouse again. I love that about Texas Rhino Shield. Right now, you can take $2,500 off when you mention Trey Ware when you log on to TexasRhinoShield.com. You're going to love the way your home looks and feels and is protected with Texas Rhino Shield at TexasRhinoShield.com.
Rhino Shield.
It's not paint.
Now's the time to save at TELUS Equipment Solutions. We've made tractor buying easy with 0% financing for 84 months on John Deere tractor packages. Each tractor package comes with attachments, giving you a complete, ready-to-work solution for your property. Our team is here to help you choose the right package to match your land and your goals. Stop by your nearest TELUS Equipment Solutions location or visit us online at TELUSEquip.com. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Restrictions apply. See dealer for complete details.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Want a great way to boost your brand? Custom labels at Staples will help packages pop, shipments stand out, and takeout boxes really take off. Shop now through April 18th and save 30% on all custom labels. Staples, that was easy.
KTSA News brought to you by Stevens Roofing.
President Trump's blockade of all Iranian ports now in effect, and many think that country will soon have to make a peace deal with the U.S. We got more on the story at KTSA.com. Who's going to be on the next Artemis mission? Well, NASA's about ready to decide. We're also going to find out where that mission's going. And one of the greatest video games of all time, still killing it at the box office. Details on that coming up 10 o'clock. KTSA News Time 9:36.
Good morning. We are working a few trouble spots as you head into your early morning commute. This report sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Still have that wreck at 281 southbound right around Mulberry. It's in the right lane, so a little bit of stop and go starting right around Hildebrand. On I-10 upper level, westbound before 35, that stalls off to the right shoulder, and another stall on the shoulder 410 southbound at South WWY. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
A warm start to the week with mostly cloudy skies. It'll be humid and breezy with a thunderstorm this afternoon, the high of 84. Breezy and humid this evening. Warm tonight, the low 70 along the Riverwalk and 67 in the Hill Country. Breezy, warm, and humid with clouds and sun Tuesday, the high 86. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina with your KTSA Stevens Roofing AccuWeather forecast.
Right now, 74 degrees. Still pretty cloudy at San Antonio's Severe Weather Station. I'm Christian Blood. Stay connected with News Talk 550, KTSA and FM 1071.
9:37 with Ware and Rima, KTSA. Iran's Navy is laying at the bottom of the sea, completely obliterated 158 ships. What we have not hit are their small number of what they call fast attack ships because we do not consider them much of a threat. Warning, if any of these ships come anywhere close to our blockade, they will be immediately eliminated using the same system of kill that we use against the drug dealers on boats at sea. It is quick and brutal. P.S. 98.2% of drugs coming into the U.S. by ocean have stopped. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President DJT.
He did a P.S.
Yeah, he did a P.S. under the post, yes.
P.S. Watch
well,
your
just
ass.
because it's a different topic, they stopped, 93% of the drugs that were coming in have been stopped. Go ahead.
He just put that out on Truth Social, and it's so funny, like what he chooses to capitalize. They will be immediately eliminated, all caps. We have, P.S., 98.2% of drugs coming into the U.S. by ocean or sea have stopped, all caps. It's just hilarious, man.
Well, it's the emphasis.
Oh, well, yeah, but it's also funny as hell.
Yeah. So it's shut down, and those fast attack boats, they were talked about in the New York Post this weekend. Obviously, he's saying we're going to destroy those if they come anywhere near the Strait of Hormuz. What do you think?
Well, I think it's interesting to watch the maritime radar and where you can see every ship, in that area, and you can see where there's none in the bend there of the strait. And so obviously the blockade has begun. I mean, I don't know. Again, as far as where this goes next, we're really taking control of energy on planet Earth, one way or the other. And China can't be all that happy about this. I know they were talking about, you had mentioned this other strait. I'm trying to remember the name of it, Baheb or something like that. What is it? Mandam, yeah. That they're now sending Houthis down there to try to strong-arm that strait. And I guess China was trying to send boats through there.
Well, let me clear that up because this is important. What I said weeks ago, Saudi Arabia moved all of their shipping from Hormuz down there.
Right, to that strait, yeah.
And what I said weeks ago was if they try to shut that down with the Houthis, they're going to have a big problem with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is the number one exporter of oil on planet Earth. If they can't get oil out of there, they are going to destroy Iran.
Right. But essentially, you're seeing a reorganization of the global economy when it comes to energy. I was watching a scene from Landman over the weekend where Billy Bob's character goes off on climate change people and people who can't shut up about solar and all that, and they're coming up on a windmill, and he's like, do you understand how much petroleum it requires for that thing to be there and to run? It's not just how we get around. It's in everything we use in our lives. I mean, we need freaking oil. And Donald Trump is playing a little chess game here with the world's oil supply and how it gets around the globe that is really putting the chokehold on countries like China. So what do? I mean, we were talking off air about what happens next. Iran's being choked off. They don't really have many options at this point, I would think, which,
Well, I think part of what he's attempted, like I told you earlier, I think part of what he's attempted to do is bring China in this deal. China doesn't care if they're dealing with terrorists or if they're dealing with some pro-Western people like the Shah prior to 1979. They don't really care. As long as their ends are met,
right?
They'll whoever's in control of Iran is fine with them.
Yeah, but they also don't like us.
Who's that?
China.
No. But what I'm saying is that Donald Trump, I think, is forcing China to get involved in regime change here.
Right.
Because as long as those mullahs are running the show over there, and China cannot buy their oil to run their ships, which is what they use the vast majority of their oil for, or energy in their country, they're going to get on board with regime change in Iran because they don't care who's running Iran. It doesn't matter to them as long as they get what they need out of Iran. They really don't care. And what they need is oil, and they can't get oil now.
Right. Well, he's playing a pretty heavy game, pretty heavy-heady game here with the Hormuz. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of days. I mean, you asked me what I think. I don't know. I'm watching this unfold like everybody else is. I think, as we've said before, Trump is obviously a guy who's never blindsided. And I'm sure he factored in that these talks on Saturday, at some point, they're going to reach a hard wall where they're not going to give up the nukes. They're not going to give up. He knew all that was going to happen.
That's why he went in with that list. Because that list was untenable as far as they were concerned.
Right.
And he knew that, and he had this already planned. There's the maritime traffic map shows absolutely nothing going through there, and if they run those little boats there, they're going to be attacked. Here he is telling Maria yesterday.
And this is a key point, Mr. President. For those people out there who have not been following it as closely, can you explain to those people why it was critical for the United States to go into Iran? Can you articulate what was behind that move that was so important for the U.S. to go into Iran?
Yeah, so easy. The easiest question you've asked me so far. They can't have nuclear weapons. They have nuclear. They want to enrich what they have. They want to enrich more. As you know, we knocked out with the B-2 bombers. Had we not knocked that out, they would have had a nuclear weapon within 1 month after we knocked out. In other words, had the B-2s, those beautiful B-2 bombers, totally obliterated their 3 sites. They have 3 sites. And they are now deep in the earth.
Deep in the earth, and one of the things that we wanted from them, we wanted that nuclear stuff, and they said no. And so he's standing tough. All right, more Ware and Rima coming up. KTSA. AccuWeather forecast, sun and clouds with a chance of rain or storms later on today with a high of 84. 72 cloudy now, KTSA.
Good morning. We are working a few trouble spots as you head into your early morning commute. This report sponsored by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Still have that wreck at 281 southbound right around Mulberry. It's in the right lane, so a little bit of stop and go starting right around Hildebrand. On I-10 upper level, westbound before 35, that stalls off to the right shoulder, and another stall on the shoulder, 410 southbound at South WWY. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Hey, it's Sean. Let me tell you about my friends over at Stevens Roofing and Solar. Going into the summer, we're probably going to have them come on out for a third time and take a look at our roof. They do this free of charge, where they'll come out and look at your roof. It's quite comprehensive. They go over every square inch. The second time we had them up there, the guy was up there for about an hour and a half and actually did find some issues where our shingles had kind of peeled away from the house thanks to some hot weather and some moisture had got in there. So he provided us with some options, which he could do for you. They also are doing solar now. So if you're curious about solar helping to reduce your monthly utility bills, talk to my friends at Stevens Roofing today and schedule that free roof inspection, 210-785-0994, or look them up online at stevensroofing.net.
Your garage door is the largest moving part of your home and possibly the ugliest. Precision Garage Door of San Antonio installs beautiful new doors that boost curb appeal instantly. See the door on your home before you buy and call Precision Garage Door.
Trey Ware for Dr. Sally and everybody at Here in Texas. They'd love to see you, talk with you about your hearing, and possibly prescribe hearing aids for you to help you hear things you've never heard before. They really are amazing at Here, H-E-A-R, HereInTX.com.
Stop living with floors you hate. At Pride Floors, we bring your home to life with the latest hardwood floors, luxury vinyl planks, and carpet. Expert installation built to last. Visit our showroom today or our website at pridefloors.com. My name is Richard Cavazos at Pride Floors.
If it's crawling, stinging, or chewing through your home, you need Apple Pest Control. They've been family-owned since 1984, and I've endorsed Stan Goodson and his crew at Apple for over 20 years because they're dependable and reliable. Their uniformed, insured, certified technicians handle bugs, rodents, scorpions, and professional termite treatments, including preventative termite protection that gives you peace of mind. They also do critter control when animals get into an attic space and start damaging your roof, your ductwork, and your wiring. With Apple, you get a free inspection hassle-free quotes over the phone, flexible billing, and no contract to sign. They offer organic, chemical-free options too. Call Apple Pest Control at 210-695-8946 or go to applepestcontrol.com. Mention Dave Ramsey and get $25 off your initial service. If it bugs you, it bugs Apple.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do? My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Get the latest local news, weather, and traffic online at KTSA.com. This is News Talk 550 KTSA and FM 1071.
I want to hear some Jones. That's what I want on the jukebox. Alan Jackson. How's he doing these days, by the way? Is he doing okay? Rough couple of years health-wise for AJ. It's 9:49. We are Ware and Rima here on KTSA, and with Jack Riccardi here, we know we're going to get instant, positive, great analysis on politics and great opinion, too, for the next hour. Jack in 60. And I'll just say 2 words to Jack and let him riff a little bit. You ready?
Sure.
Eric Swalwell.
Takedown.
Total, right?
Are we playing word association?
Yes.
Is that what we're doing?
Yes, we are.
So I just said to Don Cooper, this is the Biden takedown only with sex instead of dementia.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously they had to know for years that guys like him, and I'll put Matt Gaetz in that category, and some others, were doing all this. This whole set of stories is so old and so familiar sounding to us, right? Powerful guy, ambitious girls, but the how fast this happened, it's textbook. I mean, it really they'll write about this because it was a surgical takedown of this guy.
What we've been talking about this morning is John Nolte's piece over at Breitbart, where he lays it out and says, look, the media, they gave him a pass for years. The Democrats gave him a pass for years. They knew what was going on. They got a slush fund to pay off the girls. But in this case, they've got 3 Democrats, and they're splitting the vote in California. They got 2 Republicans. They were staring at no Democrat on the ballot for governor in California. They weren't going to have that.
Right. So I'm sure he did a lot of it, and I'm not saying it's okay.
No way.
I'm just saying this sort of sacrificial lamb thing where every once in a while we throw one on the fire is almost worse than just letting them all get away with it.
Well, you brought up Biden, and that was my initial thought that when we talked about it earlier in the morning, that once you become a millstone, once you become a detriment, these people turn on you in a heartbeat because, they certainly knew about this guy.
Ask women in sports.
Exactly. Right. By feminists, right? They turn on you in a heartbeat, and they cut you out of the equation because there must have been concentric layers of people who knew about this guy for a long time, just like they knew about Biden's mental condition.
And it also shows that the whole thing, the Clinton thing and the hashtag Me Too, this is all just a manipulative tool. Remember when Clinton was in trouble and they were telling us that getting a Lewinsky was not really sex?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
So then why is this?
Right.
It's not right, exactly, by their own explanations.
It wasn't sex for him to be with Monica Lewinsky the way he was. So, and I know this is a dream, but how do we go about dismantling this? Is it, they've got the slush fund, and you can't know who's spending it on who and how much. So God only knows, literally, how many people in D.C. are doing this exact same thing.
How do we dismantle the...
Yeah, how do we dismantle the fund so that this... So I think that's the root of it. If you get rid of the fund, some of these guys are going to have to stop doing this because they'll have no way of paying these women off.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong, but I suppose that if you got rid of the fund, there would be a fund.
Well, yeah.
Right. It would just be some rich guy or some private group, right?
Yep. Like the billionaire that Swalwell's living with. Yep, exactly.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good riddance. He's that whole video. Ugh. I'm sure you guys have been playing it this morning. Like he has like no affect. He recites a bunch of boilerplate phrases. Right. Mm-hmm. It sounds like he's about to deny that anything happened, but then he really doesn't actually deny that it happened. He just says stuff like it was between me and my wife, or you know me, and all this stuff. It's perfect because they executed it perfectly. Did you notice all the morning shows yesterday had this? Mm-hmm. Except weirdly, Meet the Press did an hour on Cuba. I don't know if they didn't open their email and get the memo or what, but they did this terrible, dull hour. But everybody else was on this, just randomly happened to think this would be the lead story on 6 other shows. So it was perfect takedown. Plus, it was the perfect takedown of a guy everybody loathes. You know, there's like no natural. Even the people that quote unquote support him, I think support the idea of him, but not him. You can
Typical
tell
politics in America.
Well, yeah,
you can tell he's just very even among slimy people. He's like one of the slimy.
He's like a slimy guy that other slimy people go, ew, I need a shower.
Yeah. At least I'm not him.
At least
like
I'm not
they feel better about themselves by going, well, I did this last night, but at least I'm not Eric Swalwell.
I haven't gone down to Swalwell's depth at this point.
They splash on some Brute 33.
The video that got me when you mentioned video was, and you couldn't avoid it, some of this video stuff that came out on Friday of him on the bed with the other dude and the woman in the middle. I mean, it's just, if I could unsee this crap, I wish I could. But how did you feel? I mean, the complete opposite end of the spectrum, watching the astronauts of Artemis on Saturday afternoon. That's one of the rare television moments in recent memory for me where I actually did get emotional watching these people talk about this experience. I mean, that was an incredible moment.
And I will say that the media did everything possible to minimize that event. Like if you think about it, we all feel like we saw it and we watched it, but if you think about it, they gave it the bare minimum amount, and they couldn't wait to get back to the straight and prices and political scandal and Trump's approval rating. Look, Artemis didn't help him at all. I mean, that wasn't how they reported the lunar landing, I don't think. Like, man just walked on the moon. It's never happened before. Here's Nixon's approval rating. Like, so they know what they're doing. Just like they knew what they were doing with Swalwell. The Swalwell thing, just know that you're watching a mini series.
Right.
Here. You're binge watching a new series.
Jack, they have a job to do. The media does, and
yes.
and they they're paid actors and actresses
to get Katie Porter elected governor.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Because she's so much better. Right. Obviously, assaulting her husband, throuple. Yeah, so obviously vastly, for those of us that are offended morally, so much better to have Katie Porter.
She beats snot out of her husband.
Now I feel better.
She treats her staff like crap and yells and
Things
screams.
Will get better now.
Yeah. No, they have the media has a job to do, and they are foot soldiers in that job. They are paid actors and actresses who are just carrying out their little job of propaganda in this country. This is part of it. And what you were saying about Artemis too is also part of what they are here to do. And they've got a mission, and they're carrying it out.
Because you remember that just a few years ago, these same people were lecturing us about the importance of and the sanctity of science. Remember how we were supposed to honor science and follow the science and let science guide us? Well, the Artemis mission was the epitome of scientific and technological achievement. So these same people that a few years ago said we should all be driving Teslas, but then pried the Tesla logo off their car because of Trump, are also the people that suddenly don't have any interest in the most important scientific story of the year, which will probably be the Artemis mission. It's so obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're also the same crowd that, the science crowd that tells us that, gender is fluid and it's,
we don't know what a woman is.
No.
But you need to stay 6 feet away from me. That I know.
Exactly.
And follow the arrows on the floor at Walmart.
Follow the arrows. We're not too sure about women, but we
did that.
We know all about this germ that arrived in our country 14 hours ago. Okay.
Can you think, also just very briefly, can you think of any other situation where a bunch of white people could shove around a Latina or a Hispanic woman and these folks wouldn't be outraged, but as long as she's connected to Charlie Kirk, it's okay?
There you go. See, exactly.
Man,
exactly.
That was
Case
some
in
rough
point.
crap. Yeah, exactly.
Well, have a great show for the next hour, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's called Jack and 60, and he's not only going to do all these stories, but he got a whole lot of more for you, too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great show.
Yeah, so stand by for that.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
You too. Thanks.
Spread the love. Don't be a jerk.